You need to choose now. Let's get in. Let's get on the social media and comment which look, option 1, option 2, you would like to see me in for the rest of the morning. I do say I have a favorite, so let's see if we are on the same page. And then I'll get dressed up a little bit later on. So get those comments in on our social media pages, and let's get this day started. Nice and cozy, nice and warm, nice and stylish at that as well. So head on over there. The time is now yours. Speaking about social media, we're not alone. Zanele is standing by in Johannesburg as well. She's going to guide you through your social media question of the morning, because we do want to connect with you.
Chinos from $4.99. Only coarse spun yarn with stretch, pre-washed, color fast and shrink proof, so they last longer. The only chinos to choose.
Good morning, my beautiful Expresso family. And oh my word, I feel like Johan has given us the most difficult decision in the world. I have to say though, I think I'm going to choose option 2. It's a lot of pressure, but I'm going to go with option 2. Hello, Mzansi, Molweni City. Hello and welcome in the most incredible way. Yes, it is cold all over the country, but we're going to keep you nice and warm, all in the name of the content that we're serving you up right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's so good to be with you. Of course, here in Johannesburg, we're coming to you live from the Samsung showroom at Design Quarter. But like Johan said, we want to see you on the social media streets. So let's get to that good morning post, shall we? This morning, hashtag Expresso Show. And of course, that voice note, we want to hear that lovely voice, 0634088863. My lovely, we want to know, are you experiencing mid-year burnout? And when your answer is yes, because I know I am, and so is everyone around me, I need you to fill in the blank. I'm so tired, I could ... What is it for you? I can tell you, I'm so tired, I could sleep for 6 months. I'm so tired, I could take some time off of work, but not this work. This feels like fun because hanging out with you is always great. Everything else, but I'm so tired, I could eat an elephant. See, that doesn't even make sense. That's how tired I am. And you need to go and fill in the blank on social media, hashtag Expresso Show, and let us know, my friend, are you experiencing mid-year burnout? That mid-year burnout that the beautiful Carissa was talking about earlier on. Speaking of Carissa, let's get the show officially underway. Let's go to the news headlines with that beauty.
Thank you, Zanele. 5 minutes after 6 o'clock, let's get into your first news of today. Now, we start off with national news, where humanitarian relief organization Gift of the Givers says it's pulling resources from other provinces to assist with immediate relief for flood victims in the Western Cape. Additional requests have been received to assist 5,000 more victims, in addition to the 15,000 they're currently aiding. Now, the NGO says it is distributing hot meals, blankets, baby care packs and mattresses in 12 informal settlements. Meanwhile, the Western Cape Education Department reports that heavy rain and strong winds have damaged 29 schools, but confirmed the reopening of all schools this morning. The Department of Transport in the Eastern Cape says it continues to monitor roads affected by snowfall, such as the Lutzeburg and Wapitsburg passes. Now, the Barkley Pass was closed due to snowfall early yesterday. Now, the South African Weather Service in the Free State said yesterday that the coldest day of the year so far, with light snowfall in the eastern parts of the province. And in Gauteng, Johannesburg Emergency Management Services personnel remain on high alert to respond to any emergencies, as freezing temperatures are expected to persist until the weekend. Moving on to international news, Senegalese president and West Africa's ECOWAS facilitator, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, has called for dialogue and peaceful reconciliation with the three countries that recently split from the bloc. The military leaders of Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso broke away from the Economic Community of West African states earlier this year and have now formed a confederation of their own. The three countries' decision to leave was fueled in part by the accusation that France was manipulating ECOWAS and not providing enough support for anti-jihadist efforts. French President Emmanuel Macron has asked Prime Minister Gabriel Attal to remain in post for the time being to ensure stability after Sunday's election left no party with an outright majority. Attal, who led Macron's Ensemble Alliance's campaign, resigned but was refused by Macron. Despite Ensemble losing many seats, it came second behind a left-wing alliance and ahead of the far right, which had been expected to win. The unexpected result leaves French politics in a deadlock, with no party able to form a government alone. And we close off news at this hour with a feel-good story. Now, with the birthday of the late President Nelson Mandela approaching, individuals and communities are encouraged to make a positive impact. Nelson Mandela International Day, established on Tata Madiba's birthday, the 18th of July, by the UN General Assembly in 2009, will be celebrated under the theme, "It's Still in Our Hands to Combat Poverty and Inequity." The Nelson Mandela Foundation suggests 10 meaningful activities for Mandela Day. Clean your neighborhood, spend time with children or the elderly, and collaborate with schools to improve their environments. Collect sanitary towels for disadvantaged women, donate food and clothes to the homeless and orphanages, and plant community gardens. Spread awareness online. Join the Mandela Day Walk and Run on the 20th of July and support social justice organizations. So get to planning today. We're just days away from the 18th of July, so make sure that you're ahead of it. For now, though, that wraps up news. Let's check in with your sports. Here's Ewan.
Thank you so much, Chris. Let's take a look at the biggest sports story. Starting off on your Tuesday morning in cricket news, batsman Matthew Breetzke has earned his first call-up to the Proteas Test squad for their two-match series in the West Indies next month. Now, the 25-year-old who captained South Africa A against India A in December joins the squad after a strong domestic season with an average of 46, including a top score of 188. Now, the 16-man squad also welcomes back wicketkeeper batsman Ryan Rickleton, while bowler Marco Jansen is rested. The Proteas face the West Indies in two tests from the 7th to the 19th of August. And in rugby news, Ireland hooker Dan Sheehan will miss the second test against the Springboks in Durban on Saturday after injuring himself tackling Springbok lock Eben Etzebeth during the first half of their 27-20 loss to Pretoria. Now, Leinster teammate Ronan Kelleher is expected to start with Rob Herring as cover. A win for Ireland would tie the series and end their streak of 4 series losses in South Africa since 1981. Now, the Springboks will announce their matchday squad later today for the sold-out game at Kings Park Stadium, and we cannot wait. It's going to be another big one. In tennis news this morning, Tyler Fritz staged a remarkable comeback from 2 sets down to defeat 4th seed Alexander Zverev at Wimbledon. Fritz triumphed with 4-6, 6-7, 6-4, 7-6, 6-3 in their 4th round clash, hitting 69 winners against 23 unforced errors. The American will now face Italian 25th seed Lorenzo Musetti in the quarterfinals. And we'll end off with some surfing news. Bella Kenworthy of the USA and Ian Gouveia from Brazil clinched victories at the Bolito Pro stop number 3 of the 2024 World Surf League Challenger Series, with Vahien Fierro from France and Nolan Raposa from the USA as runners-up. Over the past week, Kenworthy and Gouveia conquered challenging conditions and a competitive international field to secure their wins. The next stop on the Challenger Series is the Lexus US Open of Surfing, which is set to take place between the 6th and the 11th of August. That's a quick roundup of your major sports stories, starting off your Tuesday morning. Carissa now standing by. Let's take a look at what the weather is holding. Let's see what you need to pack for your day ahead.
Thank you, Ewan. Let's dive into that weather, where the South African Weather Service has issued an orange level 6 warning for disruptive rain, leading to flooding and possible mudslides over the city of Cape Town, Drakenstein and Stellenbosch municipalities in the Western Cape. Now, disruptive rain is also anticipated over the west coast, northern parts of Cape Winelands and western parts of the Overberg districts. Damaging winds and forecasts are forecasted for the western and central interior of the Eastern Cape, as well as the central and eastern parts of the Western Cape and the southern parts of the Northern Cape. Now, damaging winds and waves are expected between Port Edward and Durban, Lambert's Bay and Cape Agulhas, Plettenberg Bay and Port Edward, and Table Bay and Struisbaai. Storm surges leading to flooding of low-lying coastal areas are expected between Plettenberg Bay and Mazeppa Bay. Now, for the detailed forecast, do go ahead and visit www.weathersa.co.za just to stay updated. And here is your first reminder to share your morning views with us on 063-408-8863. It is a cold one today, but perhaps the sun will peek through just a little bit. If it does, do remember to share your mornings with us. For now, though, let's have a look at what your temperatures are going to be for today.
cold across the board. Stay warm, South Africa, stay warm. Well, that brings us to the first ad break of the show. Your Tuesday is now officially underway, and we got lots to look forward to. It is a health and wellness inspired show this morning. I'm looking forward to it. We are talking about mid-year burnout. Can you believe we're in the middle of the year already? And perhaps you're experiencing it, perhaps you don't know you're experiencing it, but we've got Prof. Skuman in studio this morning who's going to guide us through and talk about burnout and maybe recognize a few signs and symptoms. And then we're further promoting health and wellness this morning with the Cape Culture Hiking Club. We'll find out exactly what they are all about. So stick around, get yourself cozy. We'll see you just after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It is so good to have you here this Tuesday morning. And as we focus on health, on wellness, we're going to get into a really good conversation. Now, in today's fast-paced work environment, burnout has become an all-too-common experience, unfortunately, and affecting 36% of South African workers with excessive daily stress. Now, with the financial cost of burnout to the South African economy soaring to 161 billion rand annually, it's clear that this issue demands attention. And that is why we're joined by Professor Renata Skuman. She's a psychiatrist and head of healthcare leadership at Stellenbosch Business School, to unpack the signs, the impact, and also, most importantly, the solutions for burnout. Prof, welcome. Thank you for being here on this cold morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am so happy that you're joining us and that we are able to talk about burnout, because I always look at burnout and you think about it as, well, I think about it as like this massive tsunami wave that's coming, but by the time you see it, it's almost too late. You know, because there's so much happening behind the scenes in terms of burnout. And like Carissa said, the Gallup report indicates 36% of South African workers experiences excessive daily stress, which ultimately can lead, if untreated, to burnout. So I want to kick it off the bat here. Early signs and symptoms. I want to help people out there because we know life is hectic. What are we looking at?
So I think it's very important first that we see that burnout is not a medical disorder. It's an occupational phenomenon. So it can only happen if you are employed. So maybe that's a good thing already.
That's a good thing.
It's a good start of employment. But the first symptoms that we see is if there is repetitive, chronic stress, people obviously get mental fatigue, emotional fatigue, physical fatigue, and then negative patterns start to develop, sleeping problems, eating problems, that drink after work to feel better, but also then behavioral changes. You withdraw from your colleagues at work, you don't want to interact with them, you get irritable, you can start to be working harder and harder, but not smarter. So your productivity levels, in fact, go down. So that is some of the first symptoms that we see in the workplace that should be identified. The sad part of it, by the time people approach professionals, it's usually not burnout anymore, but a full-blown mental health disorder, whether it's an adjustment disorder or a major depressive episode or anxiety disorder. So people do not manage the early stages of burnout, and then we see the complications and the fallout.
Can I just quickly ask, How bad does it get if left untreated? What is, I would not say, almost the pinnacle of burnout where you physically shut down? How bad does it get?
So by the time it's a medical disorder, so as I said, burnout is that first stages where you have that fatigue, the depersonalization and the decrease in productivity. But then what often happens, and that's the problem, people go to a GP and they booked off for a month or 3 months to rest. But there's no treatment, there's no intervention in that time. And then nothing happens, nothing gets better. They go back to the workplace or they don't return. And one of the problems that we see, for every month you booked off from work, your chance to return to work is significantly decreased. So people often then go into the spiral of temporary disability and eventually being medically boarded, where if in the early stages you got professional help, we could have treated you and prevented you and helped to make solutions in the workplace or for you as a person to be able to successfully return to work. If left untreated, as I mentioned, depression, for example, and the worst outcome of depression is suicide.
Yeah, my goodness.
Oh my goodness, Prof. You are giving us so much information. So you said it's an occupational disorder, right? And I wonder with employees maybe watching right now, getting ready for work, what impact does it have on both the workspace, but also the health of the individual? I know you've gone through a couple of them, but maybe you can highlight some that really stand out for you that we need to actually be aware of.
So we touched on the mental outcome for the employee as such, but there's also then the impact on the colleagues. You know, if someone is off work, if you don't replace that person, the load on the other colleagues increase and put them at risk. But there's also physical health consequences, so increase in cardiovascular disease, migraines and chronic pain, obesity, increase in diabetes. So there's a lot of things linked to that as well. And then also what is very important for the employers is the loss of productivity, an increase in absenteeism, increase in presenteeism, increased staff turnover. If you lose people, you also have institutional knowledge that's down the drain, and you have to recruit again and retrain, and it can also create brand damage if you are later on being seen as a toxic workspace for people to work in.
You mentioned a little bit earlier, you know, when you're in this whole burnout kind of phase of your life and your work, you know, you don't necessarily stop working, but you don't work smarter anymore. You just kind of show up at work. And we've also seen that burnout is particularly prevalent among those who's overcommitted to their job and dedicated to the job. Why is this the case? Is it just that factor of what goes on in that scenario?
So there's a few factors, again, that contribute. I think the bigger socioeconomic environment as well. You're scared of losing your job. If you don't perform, what happens? And then we see the star achievers or the high performers, and we almost see performance punishment, where they're always prepared to raise their hand. The saying, you give the busy people to get the job done. You know, and people then tap it. The employers use that because they say, if I give it to her, she will always get it done, you know, and it's a vicious circle then that's happening. And those employees also, they will take it on. They want to do their best, and then they work longer, and they do not have the boundaries between work and personal life. I don't like the terminology balance, work-life balance. Work is an essential part of your life. It's part of who we are. It gives meaning to our lives. But it's about boundaries. When you switch off, to switch off and, you know, protect your environment for your family and protect your self-care, to exercise or to sleep or whatever. And then also when you're at work, not to try to multitask. One of the studies that recently come out that showed that South Africa have the highest amount of screen time per day of any country in the world, 56.8% of our waking hours. But only 5 of that 9.5 hours is being productive. The rest we waste on TV or social media.
Scrolling.
And then you waste time. So now you don't do the good things because you don't have time, and you don't actually then refill your tank. So as I said, rest is not the answer to burnout. You actually need to have active rest where you intervene to recharge your batteries.
Wow, Prof. Skuman, thank you. Thank you
So
very
much
much.
information.
I really
I love
do
it.
hope that some of what Prof. Skuman said this morning is hitting home for you. Maybe it's helped you, you know, a light goes on in your scenario, maybe at work, and made you recognize a couple of signs and symptoms. But we are going to be back with the Prof a little bit later on. We also want to unpack the differences between normal work stress and burnout, and also what can be done from an organization side to support their employees. I'm looking forward to that chat.
I definitely am, and I'm taking notes as I'm sitting here. So thanks, Prof. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, now it is time for Pharmacy of the Week, where we salute the remarkable individuals leading the charge in healthcare. And today we pay tribute to the fearless champions at Coetzee Pharmacy out in George. Proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram, OTC sponsors of Brave.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
As a patient, it is important to take your health in your own hands and make the decision to seek medical care when needed. We as a pharmacy are easily accessible and willing to give medical advice as far as our scope of practice allows us. Pharmacist-initiated therapy is a great way to get excellent treatment with all of the outstanding products available on the market for minor clinical conditions, using our expertise and knowledge to help you get well again at a lower cost.
Ons gee om vir ons pasiënte se gesondheid en welstand en ons behandel hulle soos familie en van ons pasiënte is al van die begin af by ons. Dit is 45 jaar. En ons probeer ons kliënte se name en vanne en hulle kinders se name onthou en wanneer die kliënte hier inkom en jy onthou dit, dan kan jy sommer sien hulle voel tuis.
Om 'n gemeenskapgevoel te ervaar is vir mense baie belangrik. Ons George gemeenskap groei elke dag met nuwe mense wat hierheen verhuis. So ons is opgewonde oor die dorp se groei en ook die toename in ons kliënte. Om by 'n Coetzee apteek werk, laat jou voel dat jy 'n verskil maak in baie persone se lewens en wat ook baie belonend vir ons is as personeel en so.
Being brave is not the absence of fear. It's the courage to be vulnerable. It can simply be the way that we engage with others, speak our truth, put our hand up to challenge, take responsibility for our performance and finding new ways to do better. Thank you, Adcock Ingram, for the acknowledgement that the pharmacy profession is indeed heroic in their acts of bravery.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
Carenza Parasite, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
And there we have a quick look at the superheroes that is Coetzee Pharmacy in George. And we want to take this opportunity right now as well to thank all of the pharmacists making a massive difference in their communities. We do appreciate you. We're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we are talking about juggling stress and life and everything in between with Professor Skuman. She's still here with us. We're talking about burnout signs and symptoms. And after the break, we're talking about what organizations can do to support their employees.
Absolutely, such important information. And listen, we also touch base with Bootle, speaking about health and wellness from the Cape Culture Club. She's going to come through, or the Cape Culture Hiking Club rather, and talk to us more about her impact on her immediate environment and beyond. So we'll see you after this break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're tuning into your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on S3. It's all about health and wellness and taking care of you. And right now, we are continuing our conversation on burnout and delving deeper into the workplace factors that contribute to this issue. And back with us again, Professor Renata Scruman, a psychiatrist and head of healthcare leadership at Stellenbosch Business School. She's here, and she's here to share insights on how organizations can foster a culture of mental wellness and the pivotal role of management plays in all of this. Prof, thank you very much. Welcome back once again. We left it off. I just want to quickly unpack the difference. If you stand on the outside and you look into your workplace, your environment, between work stress and burnout, what's the key differences there? Because stress is stress, we experience it on a daily.
Yeah, if you don't stress, you'll be dead.
Yeah,
so it's maybe
there we go.
A good sign as well. So stress is normal,
yeah.
And if we talk between good stress or use stress, which helps you to perform and to cope and help you to reach a deadline, and distress, when you start to develop physical or mental symptoms. Now, burnout develops when there is chronic, consistent, excessive stress that is not then balanced with recharging yourself and protecting yourself. And for then, the stress is the causative factor, and your response to it is then the symptoms of burnout, that mental and emotional fatigue and the physical fatigue,
right.
The depersonalization, and then reduce accomplishment and work performance.
Yeah. Look, it is a complicated issue, and we spoke a little bit off air. You spoke about active rest when there's treatment that needs to happen when you're in a scenario of burnout. You mentioned this analogy of a phone, and I love that. I want you to share that. Yeah.
So if you're tired, you can go and sleep and you feel refreshed when you wake up. If you have burnout, it's like a cell phone. You can't just put your cell phone when the battery is flat on the table and expect it to be better. You actually need to plug it in and to charge it, and that is the active restoration that we need, and that might be professional then assistance, either medication or therapy, or occupational therapy, where you find a balance between what can be done in the workplace and yourself, what can you do different, and then finally your self-care, which is so important, what people so often neglect, especially if they feel pressed for time. The exercise, the sleeping, the diet, the socializing, managing screen time, spirituality, all of those good things that actively charge your battery.
You can't think about having a crazy hectic week and then think the weekend is here, now I can just sleep.
No.
It's not going to make that difference. It's not going to recharge you. You need to find that way. We want to focus on the workplace, and what are some of the common workplace factors that contribute, I think, to an employee's potential burnout?
So one of the biggest reasons for burnout is an imbalance between job demands and resources. And people often just think it's the amount of work I have. A lot of work is good. It's fine. It's when there's a time issue, when there's not enough time to complete it, when there's not enough money to get the resources, the equipment or whatever you need, and then also intellectual resources that's not there. You don't have a mentor, or what we often see is star performers are being promoted, but then they're in a position where they don't have the necessary skills or training or support. So those imbalances is a big cause. And then the other big cause, which is almost the one that gives the most emotional distress, is when there's a mismatch in values. Either your personal values and the organizational values, but what the research shows that is worse is if an organization proclaims values, but the lived values is not aligned with that.
So on that note, what can organizations do from their side? Because we know that it's not always the cause. It's not the organization's fault, or it's not your fault. I think it's how you see it in that space, right? But what can organizations do to foster a better mental health space for their employees?
So over the past couple of years, and I think that is one of the big positive things of the pandemic, was there was really an increased awareness of the mental health of employees. So we saw the rise of mental health programs at work, educational activities, EAP programs, which is not always working because people don't want to access it, but there's definitely more conversations. Unfortunately, the stigma is still rife, but I do think media and people that do struggle with mental health disorders have a bigger role to play in destigmatizing illness. But it is important, very practical, that you see that you protect your star performers as well as supporting the people that take strain. Make sure that you rotate work assignments, make sure that you don't load everything on one person, be fair in how you distribute work. Be sure that you identify issues early, have a safe space where people can voice their concerns, and make it possible for people to access care. So flexi time maybe, or additional afternoon off, instead of people then in the end being admitted when there's complications of burnout. What is also very important is to help people understand the importance of work-life boundaries and to make it part of a communication culture, that we know what is the turnaround time expected, what is allowed in terms of social media contact, etc.
Yeah. Look, I think, you know, when it comes to that, I think at the beginning stage, an employee also just wants to feel valued, you know, and I think that's a first step in terms of, you know, fostering that mental health, you know, that drive for an employee to say, like, you know what, I'm glad, I feel valued, I'm here, and this is what I can contribute now, because I almost have that energy now to do it. I just want to quickly touch on a statistic we mentioned earlier. The financial cost of burnout to the South African economy estimated 161 billion rand per year. How is that possible? Is it just because of people not being able to work because of burnout?
So it's two factors. It's absenteeism and presenteeism. So absenteeism means people that's booked off from work, not anything done about it. And then the majority is actually presenteeism, people being ill at work. And that amount is more in value monetary terms than all the social grants in South Africa. So if we can keep our workforce healthy, maybe we have money for all that grants as well. So they look at absenteeism and presenteeism. Presenteeism decrease the productivity of people. So you lose an amazing amount of productive work hours. You maybe get 3 hours work out of someone instead of the 6 or 8 hours, depending on your organization.
Sure. Prof. Skuman, thank you very much for your insights this morning. I really appreciate it. Thank you for fighting the good fight as well and unpacking it for us. I really do hope that you have something that you can take away this morning in your own life, maybe looking at someone, maybe advice to a friend that you can see suffering at work. But burnout, it is a real issue and it needs to be addressed as such.
Well, thank you, Ewan, and thank you, Prof, so much. Well, we spoke about burnout, but we also need to talk about solutions. And yeah, at Expresso, your Feel Good Morning Show, of course, we push solutions at every single point. And a solution in particular to burnout is to take a break and prioritize mental health by bonding with one another. And also, and it's one of my favorite things, it's called ecotherapy, of course, experiencing nature. This morning, we connect with the Cape Culture Hiking Club, a vibrant community dedicated to promoting health and wellness through hiking adventures across the Mother City. And right now, I get to chat to Buhle Makeleni. So excited to get into conversation just around this hiking club, where it started, what it's about, and how I can be a part of this. Buhle, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Of course. Let's talk about where this actually started for you. Why did you feel the need to start up a hiking club? I feel like, and I don't know if I can say this, but hiking, I feel for the longest time, was always associated with a particular group of people. But, I mean, if you're a little melanated, you can also find yourself in the mountains. So how did this come about for you?
Okay, so it started in 2022, originally from Ekailija. So the main thing that we were trying to do was to get people off the street, especially kids off the street. So when we started as a group of 5. Well, and now we are in a group of 3 as the leaders of the club. But when we started, the main purpose was to get kids off the street, obviously. And what we are doing is we have hikes every second Saturday of a month, but it's seasonal hike. So it's September to September because we have winter as well. So during winter, we can't do any hikes. So the reason for it to start, obviously to get kids off the street, but most importantly to improve the mental and physical health of everyone around, yes.
And I love that you touched on that, because I was going to ask you about that direct impact. I mean, even though you said not in winter, try when it's not raining to find myself in the outdoors, just so that I can also find some sort of peace of mind, right? So for these children, and I know it's between the ages of 9 and all the way until you can, you know, manage yourself out there, have you found any direct impact that it really has had on them?
Okay, so as we take kids for hikes, like you just mentioned, we take from 9 years. We can't take younger than that at the moment because we are scared of the risk because it's kids. But we can try to take them for beginners hike, meaning we can take them to Newlands because it's a smooth, walkable hike. But at the moment, for physical and mental health, kids have improved a lot. As much as hiking is hiking, we also consider it as a sport. So if ever they are not active in other sports, we know that they can be active in hiking. And hiking can improve their physical and mental health, and also can give them time to meditate while they're hiking through the mountains.
You are the founder and the president of the Cape Culture Hiking Club. And I'm very curious about why hiking is so important to you. Is it something that you grew up with, or did you just kind of find your love for it as you moved along?
Honestly, I didn't grew up hiking at all. We started with a group of 5, like I mentioned. They liked hiking. My partners, they used to hike every time. And then we met, and then we decided to come together to create something. And we had this idea of, you know what, this is something that is outside of Khayelitsha, and we would like to bring something like this to Khayelitsha because hiking is seen as something that can't be done just about anywhere. So we were like, okay, let's just bring this type of sport instead of playing soccer and the normal sports to kids that might have a different view of hiking. So we just decided to start it in Khayelitsha, and it started in Khayelitsha originally. That's why we wrote it as Cape Culture with a K-A, not C-U, because we wanted the origin of it to remain as it is. But as it started in Khayelitsha, it has grew into different areas now because we're trying to change the impact that it has in people's lives.
Of course. And which other areas are you now in outside of Khayelitsha, across the greater Cape Town?
Everywhere in Cape Town. We in Gugulethu, we in Khayelitsha, we're in Nyanga, we're in Philippi, wherever you stay. But as long as you have the interest of hiking, you are available, and we just give you the transportation and we take you from where you stay and we drop you off after the hike. We provide food, we provide drinks, we provide water, and all the energy things you will need to continue with the hike.
Of course. And I love what you're saying, because not only is it a beautiful space to be out in the mountain, connecting with nature, which is for everyone, but also you're connecting with other people and you're meeting them where they're at and perhaps even guiding them along their own journeys of life from the age of 9 all the way up to perhaps people that are your age as well. So well done, well done, well done. If Raul was here, he is our local nature boy. He would also say big well done to you, Buhle. What has been your favorite hike so far?
My most favorite one was Constantianic. It's a very long 4-hour hike. 4 hours to go, 2 hours to come back. That's like 6 hours. So how we do it is we start hiking at 6 to 7, because we want to do the hike, and then if you have other plans for the day, we can still continue with your plans for the day. So what I do, I wake up at 3, 2:30 to 3 in the morning.
The sun's not even out yet.
Because I need to make sure the transport are in the right places. I need to make sure that the food is prepared. I need to make sure that all the drinks, and remember, before the hike, we always count how many people we're taking with us. So we normally take 30.
Wow.
To
30?
Yes.
Wow.
Every hike is either 29, 30 going up. So we organize 2 cars, even 3 sometimes, maybe 2 15-seater car and 1 small car to accommodate everyone. Remember, now we are picking up from different areas. 1 car must go to Philippi, 1 must go to Khayelitsha. Now I must wake up at 3 to say, driver, first pick up is at second pick up is at this place, and the driver must be there on the time. So, and then I'm the last one to be picked up because I need to make sure that everyone was there. So as much as it's fun and it's active and it's what we love to do, it's also challenging sometimes.
Of course. Are there any moments with the kids perhaps that were hiking that stand out to you? Perhaps they said something or experienced something in the mountains that you want to talk about?
Okay, there's this other time we went to Lion's Head and it was very windy. Remember, we started hiking in the morning. So by the time they told us that they are closing, we were already inside.
Right.
And now we are stuck in between rocks. We're like, are we going down? Are we staying here? We had to hold ourselves together.
Wow.
Like in a circle so that we can stand on the top.
And not be blown off the mountain.
Yes, because there was no way of us going down at that moment because the wind was still very, very, very heavy.
Wow.
So we had to stand there, and as much as it was scary, they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And
it taught them a life lesson.
And when I say it was everywhere on TikTok, it was everywhere. They were like, what have we been going through? But trust me, they enjoyed it like crazy.
Wow.
And then every time we start a hike, remember, we're coming from different backgrounds, different environments and stuff like that. So every time when we're starting a hike, we make a circle of ice break where we're telling you, you can't partner with the person you came with. It's time to socialize. It's time to communicate with other people. It's time to make friends.
Absolutely.
And then in that communication, when you're hiking up the mountains, you have to communicate with the person next to you about whatever you need, whatever you're going through and whatever. And then when we're coming back, the person you were talking to has to tell us what they know about the other person, so that we can...
So deep connection is formed.
Yes, so that we can know that as much as you are hiking, you also focus. When you get to the bottom as well, we have questions. For example, Constantia has 3 dams when you're hiking. So when you get, obviously we don't tell them that we're going to ask questions. So when you come back, we'll be like, how many dams did you pass? What was the name of the dams that we passed? So those are
an education at the same time.
Those
as
are the type of activities we try to do.
Yes. That is wonderful. Quickly, the handle so people can find you online. What is us. How do I find you on social media?
On also social media, it's Cape Culture Hiking Club at 2022.
Well, there you have it, folks. Cape Culture Hiking Club 2022. Give them a follow and make sure that if you are in any of those communities or just in Cape Town in general, that you definitely get involved with this goodness that Boutle has created. That's where we wrap up things for now. Let's head over to Josie to see what Zanele is getting up to.
Oh man, KTZ, I'm loving the good vibes that you're serving up this morning. But of course, you always know that we've also got good vibes to give you. And this is why I'm so excited for us to have the people who are behind the ever incredible show that is going to be showing at the Teatro at Monte Casino. I'm talking about Swingin Las Vegas. We're getting an exclusive chat and a performance. It's going to be incredible. But we are also going to be hearing and seeing rather what it is you chose, Expresso family, when it comes to Ewan's chinos. I told you I couldn't choose, but I went for look 2, but I'm still scared. I don't know. We're going to be seeing all of that in a little bit. Do not go anywhere. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back on the other side of this.
Drained? Dehydrated? You have lost more than just fluid. Recover faster. Add Rehydrate, SA's #1 oral electrolyte mixture.
It's my feel-good breakfast show. Welcome back here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show right here on S3. And it is always so good to be with you, Expresso family, but especially when we are hosting absolute superstars. We only ever bring you the best of the best, which is why we are getting to chat about what Howard Events in collaboration with the Collab Network are bringing us. I am talking about Swingin Las Vegas, baby. It is going to be showing at the Teatro in Monte Casino from the 12th to the 21st of July. Only 8 shows, so you better make sure you get your ticket. However, this morning, we get to hear about this incredible show that, of course, is brought to us by the Johannesburg Big Band production. And it is something that I genuinely feel like we all need to see, because it is all about paying homage to the stars that made Vegas Vegas and make it what it is even today. And this is why we get to welcome to the show this morning. I am talking about the lead vocalists of Swingin Las Vegas. Of course, it is Craig Urbani, as well as Mr. I love your surname so much, Mr. Sideropoulos, if you will.
Nice. Nice.
I got it right?
Spot on, baby.
I love it.
Spot on.
And then it is also the composer as well, or rather conductor, forgive me, and producer. It is Adam Howard. Everybody, let's give them a feel-good welcome.
Yeah.
Come on.
Good, baby.
Craig, Harry, and Adam, welcome to the show, guys.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Adam, I'm going to start with you.
Yes.
Because I feel like it is such a huge thing that this is happening. Swingin Las Vegas, congratulations. But also, congratulations on Kabza's incredible show that you were a part of.
Thank you
well
so much.
done.
Thank you.
Did you see that you went viral?
I did.
I love
I'm not sure whether I was Van Tonder on Van Veek.
Yeah.
No.
It's okay. You were there, and that's what matters.
Well, that was an amazing show. I mean, as a musical director, I get to work with so many different artists, but Kabza de Small with the symphony orchestra is right up there, I think.
Yeah.
And with Howard Events as well. We love doing the big concerts. I mean, we've got a big band, an 18-piece Johannesburg Big Band show.
Yeah.
Swingin Las Vegas at the Teatro. celebrating and paying homage to all the stars that made Vegas Vegas.
Yeah.
It really is a spectacular, just like when you saw Cabs of the Small with an orchestra. This is Harry, Corlia, Timothy Malloy, Craig O'Barney, with a 19-piece big band actually this time. We've even got timps and percussion. So it's Vegas, and Vegas was so big, so we had to go big or go home.
I love that.
So we went big.
I love that. And this is why I also want to ask you, why did you form the Johannesburg Big Band in 2011?
Well, I am very busy as a musical director, so many times we get booked to play at corporate events, and they say, well, look, for this one we want a Michael Bublé or Robbie Williams or a Rat Pack feel.
Oh, wow.
So I will then curate the musicians and book the big band. And really, this is how it happened. The musicians just said, listen, why don't we form our own big band? Why don't you form your own big band?
Yes.
And then pay us. Why don't you form your own big band? And I said, that's a really good idea, and let's try and get into the public space, So I thought, what should I call the big band? I thought, Cool Brass, or do it. I thought, wait on. Is there a Johannesburg Big Band?
Johannesburg, yes.
I Googled it, and nobody had thought of the name Johannesburg Big Band, so I thought, right, let me copyright that right now.
Love it.
And the Johannesburg Big Band was formed, and it is Johannesburg's big band. And we were just talking before, we get booked on so many amazing corporate events where companies have got money to spend on curating these big events for awards evenings, and we were saying that the public never get to see these amazing shows.
That's so true.
It's just, an audience of 500 or 1,000 people, sometimes 2,000, it could be 100 people. So this is amazing for audiences in Johannesburg, is to come and see a big band show that celebrates the Rat Pack years, Elvis Presley, but not just the golden oldies. Goes all the way through to Robbie Williams, Amy Winehouse, Adele. Anybody that's played at Vegas, we've put them in the show.
Oh my goodness, even Amy Winehouse. Okay, now I can't wait. I'm super excited. But Craig and Harry, I want to come to you guys because, of course, you've been working with the Johannesburg Big Band for a while now. So tell us about that and, of course, where this relationship even started.
So before it was the Johannesburg Big Band, I met this wonderful British man in a show 21 years ago that I produced at the then Civic Theatre, which was called Big Band Blast.
Yeah.
And it was a tribute to the Big Band era, right? And that is when I met him.
Wow.
And that's when we connected. And I remember having this conversation where he was going, one day. And guys, 21 years later,
look where you are now.
Big Band at the theatre.
Yeah.
And I wanted to work with Craig. We did a little bit. We dabbled a little together.
Corporates.
Yeah.
But I've never been on a theatre stage with him. So for me, I'm very excited to be with Mr. Siabane.
I love it.
It's a bit of a dream come true. I mean, I saw the show you guys managed to get up during COVID time. It was a difficult time with a couple of the big band names. I think Ross was there, and Art Matthews, and it was. Yeah. I watched it. I sat in the theatre. It was quite full as well. And there was people came. Yep. And I thought it's a little bit of a dream of mine to actually perform this kind of stuff with that kind of sound.
Yeah.
Because that's proper. We do it, and often there are the big corporates, but sometimes you've got backtracks and stuff, and you don't have to have this band and these musicians behind you. It's the most incredible thing. I mean,
and it is about size. There's 19 of them.
This is about size.
19.
But you see, this is why they have a world-class conductor. You know what I mean? Exactly. But Craig, I want to ask you, what goes into preparing for a show like this? Especially just like you're saying, 19, as well as all the people that are on the stage and everything. Speak to us about that.
A lot of heart, a lot of passion. Everybody has to want to do it. So we've got that. Everyone in the big band loves playing this kind of music. We love singing it. And what goes into it is clever casting, which Adam's done really well, because he's got Corlia, he's got Tim Malloy, Harry and myself. We all kind of cater for different target audiences, I think.
Yes.
Which means we're getting bums on seats, and we are. So make sure you guys are booking.
Yes.
And it means that he's this is such a vast scope of music. Like Adam says, and everyone's done Vegas.
Yes.
So we're doing the traditional. When you think Vegas, who sang at Vegas, and then Adam's very cleverly branching out to other artists and other songs.
Lovely.
Because everybody loves hearing any song done in a swing kind of way.
Yeah.
And you're not going to hear it better than with the Johannesburg Big Band and Swingin Las Vegas.
Beautiful. Well, gentlemen, I'm so excited because you guys are not going anywhere. You're going to be blowing us away with your beautiful voices. And of course, I also feel like we're going to get to know a little bit more because they've got a lot to tell us, as you can hear. But it is all about Swingin Las Vegas, starting off at the Teatro at Monte Casino from the 12th of July. And friend, you cannot afford to miss it. Only 8 shows. We're going to hear more about it, like I said. For now, though, my Ewan and my Carissa, what's happening there in Cape Town?
Thank you so much, Zanele. We are in the kitchen right now. We're going to let you in on this. On your Feel Good Breakfast Show, right, it is our mission to not only entertain, but inform and simplify your life as well. And I hope we do that for you every day. And this morning, we're embracing that spirit by showing you how to make mini French clafoutis, a delightful, fluffy baked custard with fruits perfect for any time of day. It's delicious. I mean, look at this. Clarissa.
It's absolutely amazing. I can't wait to tell you the recipe. And can we get right into it?
I just called you Clarissa and you didn't say anything.
I just moved over.
Did you just move over?
Do you know what happens? People do that. I've been called Clarice. I've been called Mariska, Marinka, Clarice.
Clarice. All right.
Clafoutis is what we're actually doing. I see where the mix-up happened there. It's a simple recipe.
Okay.
And something that's going to be absolutely great because you got the fruit duty and then I'm going to do this, right?
Because when you say the word clafoutis, it sounds so eloquent and delicate and all kinds of joie.
Well, let me show you the joie. So we've got 2 eggs, Ewan.
Okay.
To that, we're going to add some sugar.
Righto.
And we're going white sugar because we're not holding back today. We're also going to add in some flour.
Okay.
Really simple. It's literally like 4 ingredients.
Pour everything together.
Vanilla essence. Always give it a smell.
That's like a kitchen rule for me. Whenever I use vanilla essence, you got to smell it before you use it.
And then a cup of custard. That's going to add in the flavor. Are you a warm or cold custard eater?
Oh, cold.
Cold?
Yes.
Okay, I'm judging you a little bit.
Why?
I love warm custard.
But there's a time and place. Is that a cup?
I think that's a cup. No, it's good.
Go, quickly.
It's jiggling, it's jiggling. I'm kidding. Okay, let's go in. Ooh. And that's literally it. So we're going to stir this together. I'm going to try to whisk it all together.
Okay, you see, you got the hard part of the recipe.
I do. And you get to mix up the fruit. I mean, it already looks absolutely good.
The
fruit at the bottom of the ramekin.
Okay, well, before I do that, I mean, you know, we're using the clover custard here this morning with a smooth and creamy taste of the clover's vanilla-flavored custard made from 75% dairy. There is no need for cooking, baking, or waiting for the custard to set. Just open it, add to the recipe, and enjoy as is. And the great thing about this recipe is that you can personalize your clafoutis by using any fruit that you have. It's one of those names that you say it over and over and over again. It's like it becomes weird.
It's so comical there. Clafoutis. You got to say with a French accent.
Clafoutis.
Clafoutis. So you're going to put some fruit at the bottom. You can really put any fruit, but I love a blueberry for its antioxidant properties.
Righto. So we've just buttered the ramekins.
Exactly.
Is that what you call it? A ramekin?
Yeah, it's called a ramekin.
Just checking.
A ramekin.
How much do I put in there?
As much as you want, really.
Really? Well, I still got to leave some space for that.
Yes.
And here we have some strawberry.
Or you could mix them up. You could put like mixed berries in them, or you can keep them separate. It's up to you.
There we go. So we're just going to create a little fruit base.
Yeah.
Just like so.
And then we throw the clafoutis on top, just to cover it. Okay. And then we throw them in the oven. It's really that simple, right?
And especially with these berries, they're all going to like mush.
Oh,
they're going to release their natural sugars.
Okay. Wish me luck. I'm going to try to pour it in. Let me do it.
Okay, should I stand back for this?
Stand back. Give me the space. Okay, I think I might have done too much, but...
Yeah, because you got to leave a little bit of space for it to rise.
You do, but you know what? More is more and more is better. So just knock these down a little bit.
Okay.
And those go straight into the oven.
Into the oven. Okay, and then you bake them, I presume, at like 180 degrees?
Yeah, just for a couple minutes. Keep your eyes on it.
And then it's ready.
And then it's ready to eat. And I would suggest once it's done, like our ones there, you just kind of decorate it with the fruit you used inside so that when you serve it, people know exactly what they're getting, right?
Okay.
As soon as they put a spoon in, they're like, okay, I know I'm going to get a blueberry, I know I'm going to get a strawberry, and it's going to be delicious.
There's something about a blueberry, though, for me.
Oh, it's so good. And these ones are so yummy because they've got a bite to it.
Yes.
It's like a grape. It has to be crunchy.
Let me just check.
I love a crunchy grape.
That's yummy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then you kind of decorate it. Yeah, should we try it?
I think we should try it.
Are we allowed? These aren't the props.
No, I think they're edible.
Are they? Okay.
And then you can put some icing sugar right on top, and then it's going to be absolutely good. So, because I did the stirring, you can do the tasting first.
So I'm going to go with a blueberry.
It's a clafoutis.
Come hither. Oh, look at that blueberry. That's been... Ooh, look at that. I got a bit of everything. Mmm.
Yeah? It's the custard for me, quite honestly. Let's see.
You can feel the custard in there. It's yummy. Oh, man. And of course, when you want to add, you can really, when it's done, you can then personalize it. You can add a little bit more custard.
Absolutely, so warm custard.
Yeah. Look, it's going to be warm when it comes out the oven. And then I love that hot-cold combination. That's why I love cold custard with a hot, like an apple pie.
Okay.
You know, instead of if you don't use ice cream, you use cold custard with a hot apple pie.
Could never be me.
Oh, come on now. But I mean, this is delicious. You can, of course, get your hands on the recipe on our website, expressoshow.com. It is all there for you. That's yummy.
It's yummy, it's quick, and it's easy. Usually when you think like French recipes, you think, oh my gosh, it's so overwhelming.
Complicated.
This is literally like 4 ingredients, and we've got something absolutely divine.
I love an uncomplicated recipe that's packed full of flavor. And the clafoutis is it.
There you go. There you have it.
Fantastic.
Expressoshow.com, of course, is where you can find the full recipe.
Strawberry?
Strawberry.
Cheers.
Elevate your custard game with the all-new vanilla-flavored clover custard. So creamy and smooth, it makes all the other desserts a little jelly.
Now, not only do you want the goodness of a dessert every single day in winter, because I don't know about you, but my appetite really increases, but also my skin gets so dry. This becomes a scaly version of myself, okay? Don't look too close now. But we're going to show you how to protect your skin from dryness all winter long, and it's just going to be so incredible, so stick around for that.
Awesome. And then we travel a little bit because the lovely Carissa over here, she had the opportunity to go and explore one of my favorite parts of the world because the Swartberg Pass is there. Have you done it? Did you drive over it?
We drove, yeah. Is that the mountains?
Yeah, we go over the mountain.
It was stunning.
Beautiful. We're talking about Oudtshoorn. It's one of the most beautiful places, I think, in our country, and you've been lucky enough to go there, so we'll see what that adventure entails.
I fed some ostriches. You're going to want to see this.
I'm sure you did, yeah. And one of his name was Tim, right? I don't know. We'll see after the break.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. It's just gone 7 o'clock or moments before 7 o'clock. And of course, we've got to check in with what is happening in your world of news. Now, we start off with your national news, where President Cyril Ramaphosa says the country's power grid is still vulnerable. And the possibility still exists that load shedding could be introduced in the future. Now, the president says in his weekly newsletter that the recent milestone of 100 days without load shedding, which was achieved last week, provides encouragement to work more and faster to ensure that there is stable electricity supply. Now, Ramaphosa says the energy plan that was introduced 2 years ago is producing favorable results thanks to cooperation between the government, the private sector, and social partners. Humanitarian relief organization Gift of the Givers says it's pulling resources from other provinces to assist with immediate relief for flood victims in the Western Cape. Additional requests have been received to assist 5,000 more victims, in addition to the 15,000 they are currently aiding. Now, the NGO says it is distributing hot meals, blankets, baby care packs and mattresses in 12 informal settlements. Meanwhile, the Western Cape Education Department reports that heavy rain and strong winds have damaged 29 schools, but confirmed the reopening of all schools this morning. In international news, the United Nations Security Council will meet today over a Russian attack on Ukraine that struck Kiev's main children's hospital. Russia blasted the hospital with a missile and rained missiles down on other cities across Ukraine, killing at least 36 civilians in the deadliest wave of airstrikes in months. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres strongly condemned the Russian strikes and said he found the attack on the Children's Hospital and other medical facility particularly shocking. He emphasized that international humanitarian law prohibits attacks against civilians and civilian objects. Senegalese president and West Africa's ECOWAS facilitator, Bassirou Diomaye Faye, has called for dialogue and peaceful reconciliation with three countries that recently split from the bloc. The military leaders of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso broke away from the Economic Community of West African States earlier this year and have now formed a confederation of their own. The three countries' decision to leave was fueled in part by the accusation that France was manipulating ECOWAS and not providing enough support for anti-jihadist efforts. Now we close off your news at this hour with this one. With the birthday of the late President Nelson Mandela approaching, individuals and communities are encouraged to make a positive impact. Nelson Mandela International Day, established on Tata Madiba's birthday on the 18th of July by the UN General Assembly in 2009, will be celebrated under the theme, "It's still in our hands to combat poverty and inequity." The Nelson Mandela Foundation suggests 10 meaningful activities for Mandela Day. Clean your neighborhood, spend time with children or the elderly, and collaborate with schools to improve their environments. Collect sanitary towels for disadvantaged women, donate food and clothes to the homeless and orphanages, and plant community gardens. Spread awareness online and join the Mandela Day Walk and Run on the 20th of July and support social justice organizations. So start planning today. It's your official warning. Right now, that wraps up your news. Let's check in with your sports with Ewan.
Thank you so much, Carissa. Let's quickly run you through the major sports stories of your Tuesday morning. Starting off with cricket news, batsman Matthew Breetzke has earned his first call-up to the Proteas Test squad for their two-match series in the West Indies next month. Now, the 25-year-old who captained South Africa A against India A in December joins the squad after a strong domestic season with an average of 46, including a top score of 188. Now, the 16-man squad also welcomes back a wicket-keeper batsman Ryan Rickleton, while bowler Marco Jansen is rested. Now, the Proteas face the West Indies in two tests from the 7th to the 19th of August. Then in rugby news this morning, Ireland hooker Dan Sheehan will miss the second test against the Springboks in Durban on Saturday after injuring himself tackling Springbok lock Eben Etzebeth during the first half of their 27-20 loss in Pretoria. Now, Leinster teammate Ronan Kelleher is expected to start with Rob Herring as cover. A win for Ireland would tie the series and end their streak of 4 series losses in South Africa since 1981. Now, the Springboks will announce their matchday squad later today for the sold-out game at Kings Park Stadium, and we cannot wait. It's going to be another big one. Then in tennis news, Taylor Fritz staged a remarkable comeback from 2 sets down to defeat 4th seed Alexander Zverev at Wimbledon. Now, Fritz triumphed 4-6, 6-7, 6-4, 7-6, 6-3 in their 4th round clash, hitting 69 winners against 23 unforced errors. The American will now face Italian 25th seed Lorenzo Musetti in the quarterfinals. And we'll wrap up with some surfing news. Bella Kenworthy of the USA and Ian Gouveia from Brazil clinched victories at the Bolito Pro stop number 3 of the 2024 World Surf League Challenger Series, with Vahien Fierro from France and Nolan Raposa from the USA as runners-up. Over the past week, Kenworthy and Gouveia conquered rather challenging conditions and a competitive international field to secure their wins. Now, the next stop on the Challenger Series is the Lexus US Open of Surfing, set to take place between the 6th and the 11th of August. That's a quick roundup of your major sports stories on this Tuesday. Right now, let's see what's happening out on the roads. The rain is coming down, so please, from our side, be safe. Here's Carissa with the details.
Let's have a look at your roads for the first time this morning. We get started in Midrand in Gauteng, where there's congestion on the N1 southbound at Brakfontein interchange with a backup queue at New Road. Allow for added travel time and, of course, maintain a safe following distance. We head over to Cape Town, where there's been an accident on the N7 northbound before Potsdam, and the right lane is closed. With 100% rain expected for Cape Town, be sure to exercise caution while driving. Now, sticking in Cape Town, out in Athlone, there is congestion on the N2 inbound at Jakes Gerwel. Expect delays and allow for added travel time. That wraps up your roads. Let's have a quick look at your weather. The South African Weather Service has issued an orange level 6 warning for disruptive rain, leading to flooding and possible mudslides over the city of Cape Town, Drakenstein and Stellenbosch municipalities in the Western Cape. Now, disruptive rain is also anticipated over the west coast, northern parts of Cape Winelands and western parts of the Oudtshoorn districts. Damaging winds and forecasts are forecasted for the western and central interior of the Eastern Cape, as well as the central and eastern parts of the Western Cape and southern parts of the Northern Cape. Now, damaging winds and waves are expected between Port Edward and Durban, Lambert's Bay and Cape Agulhas, Plettenberg Bay and Port Edward, and Table Bay and Streesbaai. Storm surges leading to flooding of low-lying coastal areas are expected between Plettenberg Bay and Mazeppa Bay. Now, for the detailed forecast, do go ahead and visit www.weathersa.co.za. Keep your eyes on that for how the rest of the day is going to look. And for now, we've got to take a break to look at your sunrise view for this hour. And out of Jersey, here is David doing the most with a beautiful view of this morning's sunrise. I love the landscape out there in Jersey. Kind of looks like a picture from The Lion King. I see what you've done there, David. Thank you for sharing your morning with us. And we wish you a beautiful and blessed Tuesday. We still are welcoming your morning views, so do go ahead and share that with us on 063-408-8863. We'll have a look at those just after 8 o'clock. For now, though, let's see what your temperatures are giving you for today. Now, it might be cold, but it is feeling like a winning Tuesday to me. Have a listen to this. The 56 million rand, there is 56 million rand in total estimated Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots, and it could be your ticket to millions this Tuesday. That is, of course, today. Now, don't miss out. Play Powerball for an estimated 53 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 3 million rand today. How can you buy your tickets? Well, let me tell you. Get your tickets today in store, or you can head over to the nationallottery.co.za website, or even on the mobile app. You can also buy tickets through cell phone banking, or simply by dialing *120 *7529 hash for all USSD. Now, all of these details, of course, can be found on our Expresso social media pages. So while you're scrolling today, go ahead and check them out. And Panda Pusha, play your way to Powerball and Powerball Plus for 56 million rand in total estimated jackpots today, and you could win big. Let me tell you who else is winning big today. His name is Johan Strydom, and he had an option of choosing between a couple of looks. In fact, he handed it over to you to choose between a couple of looks between only chino fits, navy regular fit chinos or slim fit chinos. We've got to take a look at some of the comments from social media. Look at him looking so handsome, man. And we got in touch with Tandeka, said for this weather, it's definitely going to be a #1. Crystal also echoing that, saying #1 for Ewan for me. I love that, Tandeka and Crystal. Thanks for getting in touch. Also, Princess Mbali Motlaung says it's definitely got to be option 1. Okay, I see where we're going right now. Jane Swain too, number 1 for you, and good morning, buddies. Good morning to you, Jane. And also Julia Ramapakela saying, option 1, Bafwetu, please. Option 1, it's gotta be. Let's see what Linda's got to say. Good morning, Expresso Show. Good morning, Linda. Definitely option 1. Also, Almare Prince saying, good morning. It's gotta be option 1 for today. Yolisa too. Okay, she said option 2. At least there was 1 vote for option 2. And also Chloe Peterson saying, definitely number 1. I think there's definitely a resounding choice for option number 1. Let's see Ewan in the magic today, and the crowd goes wild. Woo!
Wow, please, can we just have a little bit of, noise in the studio?
I was the only one supporting you.
Thank you for that. I appreciate it.
so
Thank
thank
you.
you.
There we go. Yeah. I mean, but I also do know that everyone, when I walked out here, they were like,
wow, jaws on the floor.
Yeah, I get that. But thank you. I know Zanele also said option 2. So Zanele, I'm so sorry, but the people have spoken, and they have spoken right. They have spoken very right. I love it. I feel so layered. I love chinos nowadays. I've been wearing a lot of chinos, and I've never really gone for the whole chino thing, but over the past while, like, chinos really became one of those firm favorites for me, and layering as well, especially in the wintertime, because I mean, it might look with the cold weather that this might be a little bit too light, but it's not.
No, you've got about 3-4 layers on right now.
You see what I'm saying?
But
Yes,
it doesn't
I'm
look
loving
bulky. It looks good. The fit is absolutely amazing too. I like the matching, the coordination going on. You've outdone yourself.
Thank you. Well, yeah, thank you to you guys and our incredible stylist and everyone in between. But I love this look. So you can look just like me. Go shop the look at Woolies, in-store, online, on the app, all of that. Some fantastic apps. And,
does the body come with it? The people want to know.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Of course. You dress like this, you look like this. So
no, I absolutely love that. Well done, Ewan, and well done to you. You've done such an amazing job. Now, with its reinforced side seams and also pre-wash goodness, the Only Chino is here to stay. Now, remember, the Woolies Winter Faves Festival is still on, and you can get 30% off on all fleeces or fleece knitwear, as well as jackets, coats, sleepwear, and boots, plus 30% off on all blankets and throws until the 21st of July. You're in for such a treat. It happens in-store, online, and on the app. And of course, T's and C's do apply. Do a spin for us. Come on. The runway is yours, Ewan. Bravo.
Thank you very much. So for the rest of the morning, this is my look. Thank you very much for playing some dress up at home. I know you have fun doing it, because look at that. You say and we make it happen. That's how we do it. It's lovely. All right. So we are going to take a quick ad break, and we're going to tell you about it just now.
Chinos from $4.99. Only coarse spun yarn with stretch, pre-washed, color fast and shrink proof so they last longer. The only chinos to choose.
And we're back, just like that.
Just like that. It's like magic.
The magic of TV.
It just happens.
Well, we are going to take a quick break. And when we come back, of course, I told you about the dry skin saga, but we've got you covered when it comes to solutions in terms of figuring out how to stay moisturized throughout the dry season.
Absolutely. I just want to let you know, Carissa, that your skin looks lovely and it's not dry at all, so you're doing something right. Okay, so we are going to get the expert tips in just a little bit. And then we're going to head to Oudtshoorn, because Carissa went there and she went exploring. It's a beautiful part of our country, and I can look at her, she's beaming. She's like,
wish I could go back.
I can't wait to show you guys.
To show you.
Yeah, so that's heading your way after the break. Stick around, we'll see you just now.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now listen, as winter sets in, many of us experience changes in our skin. It's just a fact, man. From dryness to more serious conditions like eczema, for example. And right now on the couch, we have pharmacist Radar Kader from Rhythm Pharmacies. And he's here to explain why this happens and also share tips on keeping your skin healthy and hydrated all season. I want this for you. He wants it for you. And we're going to unpack it right now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Welcome.
Hi, Krista. How are you?
Good, man. How are you? You're
good.
surviving the cold, the rain?
Yeah, winter's here.
Winter is officially
Winter's
here.
definitely here.
If you didn't know before, on the, where are we? The 9th of July, we are here. So let's get straight into this. You know, when it comes to the driest seasons, I'm always curious as to the link between, you know, skin fungal infections, but also sensitive skin and the climate, the weather. So what is the impact there? What is the correlation?
So it's funny that you say dry season, right? In Cape Town, winter's wet, but the air is actually dry. And what we try to do is then put on indoor heating, and this creates a lower humidity. And with the lower humidity, you have obviously the drier air. And when the air is dry, the skin struggles a bit, and we need to moisturize it, obviously. With dry air and sort of dry skin, the top layer of the skin, the epidermis, is sort of damaged most of the time, and it can cause little dry cracks. And when we have dry cracks in the skin, the fungus tends to be more susceptible, or the skin's more susceptible to get the fungus, fungal infection. So very common in winter, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you said it's common too, because I'm sure there's some people that carry some shame and go, oh my gosh, where do I go, which direction? But let's get into specifically talking about a daily skincare routine, which I am such an advocate for. You need to have that not only for your face, but for your body as well, perhaps, right? Do you recommend anything in particular for these flare-ups?
So I think not even for flare-ups, just in general, the three main things one needs to do for good skincare is obviously cleanse, and then moisturize, and then protect. So with cleansing, obviously you don't want to use harsh soaps and things like that. You use a gentle cleanser, and then moisturizers with good moisturizing properties. And then for protection, I'd say in winter people tend to use less SPF factor products, but the UV rays actually still harm the skin. So a good sun protection factor doesn't have to be very high, but in winter that's important. And then obviously hydration.
It's so hard. It's so hard
to
in
get
cold
that liquid
weather.
in, exactly, yeah.
Is it just water, or are there other ways that we can do this?
Yeah,
Because,
absolutely. So water, definitely. And then there are a couple of good rehydration solutions. My favorite is a product at the moment on the market called Revive. It tastes good. It works really good. Doesn't have sugar in it. So, but yeah, just general hydration. And then with zinc-rich products is also good for the skin, yeah.
I love that, and I also love that you're focusing on the ingredients. I know you mentioned some harsh ingredients in soap that you need to avoid, so I wonder, are there products out there that we should be looking for ingredients to help or not help us? What should we look out for?
So definitely so we treat the different skin conditions with different kind of things. So generally, if it's really a dermatitis, like a sort of a bad rash and dry skin, you treat it with typical over-the-counter products like corticosteroids, topical, and then for the fungus specifically, products with selenium sulfide or clotrimazole, over-the-counter as well. And then my favorite are actually natural products, like I'd say grapefruit seed extract, so look for products that have that in, and then also buchu is my all-time favorite. Buchu is an amazing product for skin. It assists with all kinds of skin ailments, including fungus as well. And it's a South African Western Cape fynbos product, so I really, really love
Beautiful.
it. Yeah.
I've heard of buchu tea. You also get it in products that you can apply.
Yeah, no, absolutely, in a gel. It's very good.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Well, I love that
recommend it
you've
a
given
lot,
us so many options. I am curious about lifestyle changes. We've spoken about, you know, treating it from the inside. What can we do on the daily to perhaps improve our overall skin?
So I think it comes to lifestyle, right? And diet is one of the important things. Try and increase your fish oil intake, so omega-3s are important. Zinc, selenium in oral form, minerals and vitamins, biotin. And then, you know, when it comes to lifestyle, one also has to not do too many hot showers in summer. in winter.
Oh, that's tough.
Because what the hot shower actually, rather let it be shorter time, or lukewarm showers, because the hot showers actually strip the skin of its natural oil. So we try and avoid those things, yeah.
Oh, tough ask, but definitely things that we need to be adding to make sure that our skin is looking so good. Thank you so much for coming by, Rita. I always appreciate you having here. Well, listen, protect your skin with this winter with products that contain selenium sulfide, as mentioned before. Now, Salsun is a medicated shampoo which effectively treats dandruff as well as itchy scalp and irritable skin conditions like pityriasis, as also ringworm. And listen, we never ever leave you wanting, because you do get to stand a chance to win a Salsun hair care hamper as well as a Tangle teaser. All you have to do is reply to the competition post on the Expresso social media pages and tell us how you would manage dandruff flare-ups during a seasonal change. And don't forget to use that hashtag flake-free as well as Salsun South Africa. Now, this competition does close on the 26th of July, and T's and C's can be found on expressoshow.com. So much great information you've given us today. On a Tuesday, we obviously focus on wellness and health, and you've given us such great tips. Give me one last one for managing your skin in winter. What's the most important standout to you?
I think hydration.
Yeah.
Hydration, you know, we need to protect that top layer of the skin. So get a good moisturizer, shea butter, lanolin, you know, something with glycerine. So make sure that the top layer of the skin is protected, and then everything else will be good after that. Yeah.
Well, you heard it first from the professional. Make sure that you are hydrated. Ewan, how hydrated are you?
After that chat, so hydrated. Thank you, Mr. Kate. I really appreciate that. But yes, right now, let's travel a little bit and explore the beautiful backyard that is our country. And with winter in full swing now, it really is the perfect time to get out and explore the wonders of the world and South Africa. That, and thanks to the Marriott International Group, we have a hotel located close to every single winter adventure that you can think of. So let's see what Carissa got up to in the beautiful part of Oudtshoorn at a place called Rimpi Estate.
From peaceful bush settings all the way into the unique rondables, I've just arrived at the Protea Hotel by Marriott Oudtshoorn Rimpi Estate for what is undoubtedly going to be a weekend filled with tranquility and relaxation. The best part, though, is that you get to come along with me, because I have a feeling that this might just be your next travel destination. Let's go. This is my first time in Oudtshoorn, and it definitely will not be my last, because what a beautiful experience I've had at this hotel. From the first touch point of seeing somebody at that front desk, it was so seamless in such a great way, kind of set the level for what was about to happen. And then I moved into my room. Wow, what a beautiful space, so unique as well. I've never ever stayed in a hotel space like this. If I look up, I could tell that I was in a rondavel, and it just kind of felt like I was in nature, but removed enough from nature so that it's not a bother, and I could enjoy the luxury of the space around me.
When you Google the word Karoo, the first images that pops up is this vast landscapes with the different palette colors of brown. When you drive into the gate here, though, it feels like it's an oasis in the middle of the Karoo. And it's just unique. It has this sense of peace that you cannot describe.
Not only are we located in heaven, we also are in such close proximity to so many fun things to do. And right now, we're about to embark on a tour of Safari Ostrich Farm. It's going to be so good as our first activity for the day. Alma, what can we expect from today?
We are going to drive through all the enclosures, Carissa, and the viewers. We are now currently in the Zimbabwean blue ostrich camp. Thereafter, we're going to see ostriches that are from South Africa, and those are the ones that we primarily farm with. And towards the end of our tractor drive, we're going to see some emus as well.
Oh, how exciting. Let's go. I've never seen an ostrich in person, so I'm ticking off so many firsts around this trip, and it was really interesting. I mean, Alma took us around and taught me so many new things about these birds that look prehistoric, but definitely add so much to the economy, livelihood, and even just the tapestry of Oudtshoorn itself.
Now we have male ostriches with the black feathers and female ostriches with the grey feathers. What they really love, Carissa, is an interaction by feeding them from our little feed containers. The food that we give the ostriches are called pellets. It is a consistency of lucerne, maize, and a calcium supplement. And you can see they love eating. And the red color on his beak is an indication that he's matured, because pretty soon they're going to start with the breeding season. Please feel free to feed them as well.
They're hungry.
Hungry this morning, you know. Yeah, it is winter, so the appetite is a little bit more increasing.
Yeah, you and me both. An ostrich egg weighs 1.5 kilograms and can withstand a weight of up to 120 kilograms. So let's put that to the test, if I can get my balance right, and see if it cracks.
So these two females and the male, they are the unique white ostriches. So you are welcome to feed this youngster here. Hello, you can see she is very
gentle.
Very gentle. Yeah, don't be alarmed. Both of them are enjoying you feeding them. And I think this is definitely some of the highlights that the clients can experience visiting Safari Ostrich Farm.
The adventure under the Oudtshoorn sun has really delivered on joy and excitement right here at Safari Ostrich Farm. But now it's time to head back to the hotel to test out our mixology skills and see what else is on offer at Protea Hotel by Marriott Oudtshoorn, Rimpie Estate.
Today, I just want to introduce you to two mocktails, which will be the Pina Colada and the Strawberry Daiquiri.
Oh, those sound so delicious. My mixology session was so much fun. I've never done something like that, and to learn how to make a couple of mocktails will definitely impress a couple of my friends around me. But it is such a great way to sort of taste the space that you're in. And I feel like the signature drinks that I had, or that I tried today, definitely is something to come to Oudtshoorn for, and definitely something to come to this hotel in particular to experience. If not the drinks, then definitely Graham.
Now shake it.
We're shaking it. Are you going to dance with me though?
Shaking
Let's dance
it the way
together.
I'm shaking it. Shaking it, lady. Yes,
Shake it,
yes,
shake
lady.
it. Cheers, Graham. Thank you so much for this mixology session. I think I'm going to enjoy this by the pool. Thank you, Chef Dalian. What have you prepared for me today?
So tonight we have the risotto balls. It's filled with spinach and feta with a tomato basting and basil pesto. For the mains, I have prepared an ostrich fillet, medium for you, served with veggies and a little bit of chips.
Thank you so much, Chef Dalian. This looks absolutely delightful. I can't wait to taste. My stay has been short and sweet, yet rejuvenating. And it really is about the staff and the atmosphere in combination with the food that has made Protea Hotel by Marriott Oudtshoorn Rimpie Estate an unforgettable one. It definitely is a must-do on your bucket list.
Majestic.
So
Look at that
beautiful.
shot at the...
Oh my
man.
goodness, it was the best time, Ewan. Please invite me back. I want to go back again. It was so incredible.
I'm just waiting for this weather to pass on my bike.
You're going to go?
We're going, yeah.
Yeah, you would
it's
cut down
beautiful.
hours on a bike, right?
Yeah, man, it's beautiful. I mean, there's some of the landscapes, the experiences, the stops that you can make along the road.
Yeah, the ostriches.
That part of the world is just, I saw you. It's like, you did it very confidently because they are.
It was like this inside.
They're generally not that, like, calm and
Yeah.
gentle.
No,
Because
those ones
normally
were
they go
gentle.
in.
The other ones were so hungry. I was like, you're going to eat my whole face. Like, it was a little bit scary, but we made it.
Listen,
We
that was fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing
Of course.
your experience with us. But for you at home, you can get ready for your next adventure. All you need to do is sign up as a Bonvoy member today on Marriott.com to get planning.
Yeah, it's that easy. Well, for now, we wrap up Oudtshoorn chat here. Zanele, how's it going out in Jozi?
Oh, my Carissa and Ewan, it is so cold. But the nice thing is, like I said earlier on, we're warming up with the lovely guests that we have in studio and Expresso family. We still got so much that is coming your way. And one of the ways in which I think you're going to warm up very nicely is with some delicious food, yeah? So this is why we've got a recipe on the way, Turkish Cheese Pide. Have you ever heard of it? Well, if it's your first time, you're going to be hearing about something delicious, okay? Then we are hearing all about how we can protect ourselves from online fraud. My friend, it happens more and more each and every day. And this is why you got to stick around so that you're in the know of how you can stay away from it and hopefully safe. Don't go anywhere. We're going to take a short break and we'll be back after this.
Very dry, tight, sensitive skin. Relieve itchy skin in just 60 seconds with Aveeno's Skin Relief Moisturizing Lotion. Aveeno.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
There are stories of strivers, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.
You're still on your Feel Good Breakfast show right here on S3. And my love, we always want you to feel good, which is why we are very close friends with ABSA, okay? They are also in the business of making sure when it comes to us banking and being on social media and so on and so forth, we are not just 100% able to do it easily, but also we can do it safely. We know that social media has become a big part of our lives, whether it is entertainment or staying in touch with loved ones. It's every single day that we are there. However, unfortunately, it has also become a prime hunting ground for scammers who want to take advantage of people who are unsuspecting users. And friend, we don't want you to be that person, which is why we've invited ABSA onto the show, all in the name of hearing how we can 100% stay safe from online fraud. And we have got the big guns. I am talking about the guy who is in charge of 100% making sure that we do know all of this. I am talking about the chief, and forgive me, he is the king, someone I know is actually here to let us know all about it, the Chief Fraud Strategy and Analytics Officer at ABSA Everyday Banking. I am talking about none other than Ulrich Janse van Rensburg. Everybody, let's welcome him, please. Ulrich, how are you?
Fine yourself.
I'm good, thank you. Ulrich, I feel like you have got all of the knowledge that we need today.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's see. I love that. Ulrich, it's a scary time because I feel like scamming is at an all-time high. Every single time you think you know what's coming around the corner, they change and there's something new coming at you. So this is why I then need to ask you, please, why is it that social media is such a big place for us to be targeted by scammers?
Well, thanks for having me. I think what's important is social media is a common breeding ground. For when you look at Facebook, they have short of 3 billion users registered. There's hundreds of social media platforms out there.
Yeah.
So consumers tend to enjoy these social media platforms. They sit on the couch, relax, scan through a couple of things.
Yes.
They don't pay attention. They're not as vigilant that they should, than they should be.
That's true.
Now, when there's 3 billion users just on Facebook, and they don't set their privacy settings, So they let the world see what they do.
Sure.
In that, they share personal information, photos of family and friends, their hobbies, their interests.
Places you go to.
Places you go, like the July and everything. So as a result of that, these scammers do take advantage of that. So they go and seek for different ranges of attacks that they want to set up. They try and find people who matches the personas that they're looking for. And based on that, they start setting up these particular scam-related activities.
Oh my goodness. So Ulrich is saying I shouldn't have told them people I was going to the July. I should have just arrived.
I didn't tell anyone you went to the July.
So there it is. I am the prime suspect over here. But Ulrich, I then want to ask you, what are some of the things that we can look out for when it comes to scams? What are some of them that are really common on social media?
So I think what you need to look out for is the ad hoc requests or engagements that you're approached with. Obviously, there's also scams like deposit scams, where people buy a puppy online. When you look at social engineering, especially scams, they invoke three things. They invoke, and those are all emotional things. So fear, excitement, or urgency.
Oh my goodness.
So when you look at investment scams, deposit scams, those things tell you that there's a good return, I can get value from this, or I see this puppy, I'm excited. So it creates all these different emotions, and then people fall prey to those type of traps.
Oh my goodness. So essentially, are you saying that whenever anyone comes to us with any sort of investment, particularly online, rather not?
Social media and investments are not the best connection for. So rather approach a financial planner who would be able to advise you. We often also see romance scams. So when you look at when you're on social media and you share with your loved ones how lonely you are, they often look for single people out there. They target them.
Oh no.
They look at their hobbies.
Oh no.
They start befriending them. Later on, they have an emergency.
Yes.
You've established a great relationship.
Yes.
They need money. You don't. You feel the need to pass some of that on.
Yeah.
So that's how common it is and how easy it is to fall trapped to this.
I'm sorry, the crew's laughing at me because I always tell people how single I am. So now you're literally describing me. Oh my goodness. But Ulrich, I feel like, you know what, sometimes it's really difficult to see what is a scam and what's possibly not a scam. So can you tell us some of the things that we can look out for whenever people approach us on social media?
So I think start with your privacy settings.
Okay.
Research how to set your privacy settings on your social media profile. Don't accept invites or befriendments from strangers or celebrities.
Why not celebrity? Oh,
because if I get your photo, I can impersonate you. There's many softwares out there that I can use. I can even jump on a call with you, video call, and you would not know that I'm George Clooney. And I would speak like him. I would look like him. I will use the same voice tones, etc. So it's easy to fall prey to these things. So don't accept out of the blue invites for friend accepts. Go do your research. Investments, go to a financial planner. Deposits, if you want to buy goods online or on social media, first research, are there any reviews on this? Go to Google, search for any bad reviews. Consult friends and family. If you befriend someone and it seems exciting, just have an innocent conversation with someone you trust and just check in whether that's a good thing. Go to yuma.org, YIMA.org. It's an industry platform that we have created through SAFPS, which is an industry body. And there's loads of tips on what types of scams you see out there, how to avoid them, where to go, what tools to use. So there's many such platforms that one can consider to get through this.
Amazing, Ulrich. And I said you have all of the knowledge. Ulrich, very quickly, because we have to wrap up, I want to know, when I have fallen victim to scamming, which I won't because Ulrich is telling us, what can you do?
So first of all, when you fall victim to scams, go to your nearest bank or phone your fraud hotline and speak to them about the funds that you may have transferred that they need to block. On the back of that, try and assess what have you disclosed, and my viewers, lock your profile down for a while. Try and consult someone who can help you with some damage control, and then on the back of that, read up on social media and the types of scams out there, and stay abreast of what's happening out there. I mean, yesterday it was reported that they found just over 200 million records of Twitter users or X users out in the market. So they're all over.
Oh my goodness. Ulrich, thank you so much. I feel a little bit safer just having spoken to you, because I'm like, these are the ways that I can stay vigilant. Because I even remember I was speaking to some of my family members. I was like, you never know who is there doing what. So thank you so much for that. This is why I say we're glad we're friends with ABSA, because they are here to make sure that we stay vigilant, my friend, but also that we 100% stay proactive, all in the name of hopefully staying safe online. Make sure, like Ulrich said, that you keep abreast with what those possible scams are out there. But more than anything else, make sure you're not clicking on just anything, my friend. It is ABSA here in the building with us here on Expresso.
There are stories of creators, and we're inspired by them all. We invite you to write your story with us. Your story matters. ABSA.
Thank you very much, Zanele. Now, something that is not a scam is what's going to be happening right now in the kitchen, because what is life without bread and cheese? I mean, that's like the perfect combination. And today, we are exploring the delicious world of pide, the Turkish flatbread that's sure to become your new favorite because it looks amazing. That's the first thing Carissa said when she walked in, when she saw the bread. She's like, I need that in my life.
In my mouth, in my life, right now.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. It it's like the equivalent, you could call it a Turkish pizza.
You could.
But it's a Turkish pide.
It's a pide. It doesn't have the tomato base, and the shape also, it's like a boat. It's a little bit different.
Yeah, I hope we're going to be able to make it like that, but we're going to try. But the thing with this recipe is it is so simple. It is really just putting the dough together.
Yes.
And then forming the dough and putting the cheese. And then we've got some chili toppings there with some fresh herbs and everything. It looks beautiful. Okay, so let's start with the dough.
Okay, have you made bread before? A female deer?
You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
Look at you. Okay. So we've got some flour.
You've done
we've
this
got some sugar. All right, we're going to go with some brown sugar. We got the yeast.
Yes.
All right. And then the salt we're going to put in later. Some oil.
Just a neutral oil, right?
Yeah, just the oil. And then some hot water.
Yeah.
Why do we use hot water, Carissa?
We use hot water so that it can emulsify really nicely.
Okay. But also to help the yeast.
To help the yeast. I was getting there. To help the yeast, because the yeast is alive with the sound of music.
Exactly, my dear. Okay, so we're just gonna go slow with the water because we don't want it too. Oh, thank you. Too runny.
Got you.
A little bit more.
Yeah.
There we go. So basically, this is a basic dough, and now you can add the salt for me quickly.
All of it?
Yes, gooi it.
Let's go in.
Because everything is measured out for us, and if you want the recipe, I mean, you can get it. It's on our website, expressoshow.com, just like that. So now we're gonna go, and then we're gonna go, and we're gonna just mix it nicely.
That looks good so far.
Yeah, we'll just make sure it's not lumpy at all, and then you want to make it sit just a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for the dough. I mean, this is basically
That took you at least 25 seconds.
You know what I'm saying? Because the Turkish know, time is money.
Time is money.
Time is money. So you don't want to mess around, but you still want to make something that is absolutely delicious.
Okay.
So here we have
We've skipped
the
ahead.
dough. Okay, now we're going to have to form this dough, okay?
We do.
But we need to prep our surface. It's been wiped clean and sterilized, okay?
Ooh, that looks so professional.
I love this because this is our opportunity, to make a mess in the kitchen.
And I love that about being in the kitchen. You've got to have fun with it, right?
Exactly.
You can't be too serious.
No, so
are we
here
both
go.
going to try? I'll take
We
my
can,
rings
yeah.
off.
So you'll see, I'm just going to make a little ball here.
You look so professional right now. Can I just tell you that?
Do I?
Are you a baker? Is this something you haven't told us about?
No, I'm not. Okay, so I'm just going
It's a bit sticky. That's
It is. You see how messy we get? I love it.
Wait,
Okay, now I'm going to start shaping it. And we're going to shape it. Come on.
So we don't have to knead this. It's been kneaded.
It's been kneaded, Ned.
It's been nod.
Ned, nod.
Okay.
So we're going to work it.
If you're trying to do like what shape would you call that?
A boat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say like an oblong something. Mine's got a hole in it already.
Okay, hang on. Hang on. Okay, just let me get my fingers here because
You
I
get
do
your
want to tell you guys something because we are trying to create this kind of boat-like shape and it really lets the crust becomes crispy while the filling can remain succulent. That's why we make it like this. And like I said, to get your hands on this delicious recipe, you can visit expressoshow.com. How's your boat going?
Sinking.
Sinking. Just adjust your sails there. You know, go in a different direction.
Oh Lordy.
This is okay.
It's my first time on the water.
Let's get some more.
Yeah,
flour
I
in
think
there.
the flour is helpful.
Oh, I should have done that long ago. Okay, so like so.
Okay.
You see, and you want to kind of create like this little ridge.
Yeah.
Because that's going to keep the cheese inside.
Right. So like a divot in the middle.
What is that? I mean, honestly.
Is that judgment I hear?
A little bit, yes. I'm sorry, but.
Oh my gosh.
The director says it's a surfboard, but I'm not so sure.
Not even, it doesn't even qualify.
Not even.
You know
okay,
what?
so I've got my boat going. And now we've got some delicious cheeses that we're going to put. How's that? I mean, honestly.
Yours is really good. I didn't want to tell you because, yeah, but I think you won this one. Was it a competition?
And I want to be generous with the cheese.
Okay.
I'll share some with you because I took too much.
Is there such thing as too much cheese?
Well, you know, not really. But I mean, look at this. Look at that. And this little ridge that I have created.
Tell us more, you.
It's going to keep the cheese inside. Yours, it looks like it's going to run away.
I think so. Wait, let
Yeah.
me make like a little thing on the side.
Good.
Okay.
And now, the challenging part, we have to put it on a baking tray. Lucian, please would you...
Fly in the baking tray.
How do I do this
Thank you.
Okay, wait, pass me this knife here. I'm gonna...
Why am I being judged by everyone today? Okay.
Oh my gosh. You see, there's a reason why... I'm gonna bake mine on the counter.
Just bring the oven here. I can do it for you.
Can you?
I don't know if it's going to
Let's see
be
if it's
saboteur,
gonna-
but let's... Oh, it's like sticky at the bottom. I'm going to ruin it and then you're going to be upset. I'm just going
Okay, tell you
not
what.
do anything.
This is not happening. Look, it's sticking to the counter.
I don't have Turkish in my blood. I wish
We
I
should have
did.
made it on there.
Yeah. Okay, just pick it up like this and then recreate it. You got it. It still looks good.
Oh, I see now. Okay, look. It's getting together nicely.
Yours doesn't look like a boat anymore.
It does. Stop. It's just because the cheese ran off.
Yeah.
And now we're just placing it back in there.
Beautiful.
And then you bake it.
You bake
15
it.
to 20 minutes
Yeah.
in the oven until it crisps up nicely. And then you have a Turkish pide, just like that one. And look at us. I must say, look, I am proud of you. You did so
thank
well.
you.
I think we did. I had a bit of a struggle with mine.
Yeah.
I spoke too soon.
You did.
I did.
But no, it looks really good. But baking is not my forte, which is why I'd
Yeah,
rather
same.
eat the baked goods.
Yeah,
Would you like to
braaiing is
try?
my forte.
Yeah.
But we'll leave this to the professionals. Oh, look at you. And then obviously it comes out beautifully melted like this. And then we've topped it. You can see there's some chili, there's some oil that we
Yeah.
made a little bit of a
It smells
topping
very
with.
good. Mhm.
And now are you going to try it?
I was going to feed you. Yes?
Oh.
10 out of 10.
Amazing.
Crispy and delicious.
Okay, now show you something.
Okay. Well, you can find this recipe on expressoshow.com. This is, of course, your Turkish cuisine. To set you off real good if ever you want to go over to Turkey, you can book your flights on turkishairlines.com and also just widen your world with Turkish Airlines, offering flights to the most destinations worldwide. And I would highly recommend you head over to Turkey for anything. It's going to be for the Pide. Cheers.
I took a really big bite there.
We connect more countries than any other airline. Turkish Airlines.
Pide. So
Pide.
incredibly delicious.
Pide.
Well, we've got tons still coming your way on your Feel Good Breakfast show. Besides cooking in the kitchen, we're also going to be talking a bit about failures, but not only failures, also resilience and the balance of the two together.
That's a good balance
Yeah.
to try and strike. And Swingin Las Vegas performs. We saw Mr. Craig Obani, one of my favorite humans. He's up in Joburg. He's going to perform for us in just a second. So stick around. Go make yourself a pide.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. That was a nice quick one for you guys. You didn't miss us too much, I do hope. And right now, sometimes the best moments are the ones spent sipping your coffee, letting the world fade into the background and just hitting pause.
It's time to hit pause with Jacobs.
All right, I'm still wafting a bit of chili there, but this morning we are warming up with a cup of smooth, velvety Lungo Intense 8 that delivers absolute excellence in every sip. So, Caris, cheers to a very chilly, rainy, cold, wintry
This is the
July
perfect
morning.
thing to drink. Now this Jacobs coffee capsule, ooh, it's intense, it's hearty and definitely rich in so much flavor. And as we hit pause, we reflect on the ups and downs in the journey of life and what a journey it is. So I've got a few questions for the table today. You know, we got to spill the beans right here, and it's all around failures, which is a very scary F word, and also resilience. So what determines failure versus success in your life?
In my life?
Yeah.
Based on everything I think that I've experienced and everything went through is just perseverance.
Sure.
It's pushing through and also not to look at failures in a negative light.
That's really hard, Ewan.
Because it is really hard,
Yeah.
because in the moment, when you fail at something, there's an immediate sense of, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I don't know how people are looking at me or
I've done
how they view
something
it. It's always like, yeah,
wrong.
but it's a learning curve. And for me, I mean, yes, I've had many failures in my life before, things that I've tried that didn't work out, but perseverance is that where you move forward, you keep going. I mean, it's the recipe for success, I think, in your life, you know, in my life specifically.
Yeah.
So whenever there's a bit of a sticky situation, you got to know that this is a season.
Yes,
and
that's
I
a big
am going to
one.
go through it, you know. And what about you?
Sure, you know, Denzel Washington, this is where I heard it, I don't know if he came up with it, but he said that you've got to fail forward, and that's kind of what success is. So lean into failure, like it's going to be okay, and I hate that. Like, please, I want to be really good at something immediately. Don't tell me I have to go through a couple of learning curves. I don't want that, but yes, you got to fail
As jy
forward.
val vorentoe.
Exactly
That's exactly it.
That's how he
but
said
it
it
is
too.
exactly that, because I think we live in a world where instant gratification is so front of mind every single day. But we got to realize, you know, we look at people that's majorly successful and but they've walked a road.
I know.
They didn't just all of a sudden wake up and then I've got this grand idea and all of a sudden I put it into the workings and now it's a massive success.
Yeah.
No, there was many failures along the way.
Well, it's a tough thing to hold on to, but we try every single day. And I do want to ask you also, do you ever compare yourself? I know they say comparison's the thief of joy.
It's a difficult one.
And when you look around and you see so many people, you know, ticking their boxes, and maybe you look in your own life and not so much. I've done it many times. You know what gets me? Social media. I think when I'm
Absolutely.
scrolling and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I haven't hit that milestone. I'm this year's old this year and I haven't done this yet. I haven't achieved that. It gets really difficult.
I try to be very careful to measure myself up to somebody else that I particularly deem, you know, much more successful, because I'm on my own journey.
Yeah.
They're on their journey. But however, I do believe that you should surround yourself with people like that in terms of finding true friendships, because that automatically pushes you to better yourself as well. But you got to be careful not to step over that line of comparing yourself, because comparing yourself, whether that is in business, in work, in relationships, in whatever space you might be, comparisons can be very tricky. And we don't want to do that, because like I said, we are our own people, we have our own experiences, our own feelings, our own thoughts, our own journeys. Now, how do you see it? Do you ever look at someone and like, oh, I wish I was?
It happens to me more often than I'd like to admit, quite honestly, and it's been such an intentional moment of reflection and growth that every time I feel myself in that like negative headspace, I have to take distance from social media, or if I find myself maybe even like getting jealous of friends around me, because if we're being honest, that's a natural response sometimes when people announce their success and you're like, what have I done? You know, I have to kind of check in with me that it's got nothing to do with them, and my success will come at its own time, will come at a right time, and whatever I deem as failure is also, like you said, seasonal. So as long as I kind of keep that perspective.
You gotta make sure to look at your own scenario and your own setup. I mean, because it's very easy. How many of us really look somebody that you know very closely, that you're a friend of, and they bought a beautiful house.
Oh, goodness.
And you're like, oh, man, come on now.
Yeah, I'm still in my studio apartment.
Exactly.
Like,
but
yeah.
then you realize you gotta be grateful where you are and for what it is that you're doing and for what you have.
And that's the solution.
And that's where you grow from.
Yeah.
So I hope that kind of helped. Do you also find that you naturally step into encouraging others because of your own experiences?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. I would say so, yeah. I definitely feel like I encourage others also as a way to encourage myself. You know what I'm saying? But I think what you've touched on in terms of gratitude, I try to remind other people to channel that, and I also try to channel it in my own life. Gratitude is really just the solution for so many things. It eclipses the world of wrong, and that's where I would like to leave it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So when it comes to your story of success, go out there and persevere through the failures, fall vorentoe. It's very, very important, but keep moving forward. Don't look at a failure as something that's a block in your life.
My mother-in-law said, as long as you're breathing, you're moving. And I think that's a beautiful one. Well, coffee in hand can definitely inspire the determination of the soul with every single sip. And thank you to Jacobs. You can definitely have your cup of liquid gold.
Mine's finished.
Find your wonderful. Jacobs, wunderbar.
Oh man, what beautiful conversations for a Tuesday morning. And this is why we choose to be with you, our Feel Good Breakfast Show family. But we also choose to hang out with you on the social media streets as well, in addition to being on your television. And we asked you to hit us up, #Expresso Show, because we wanted to know, are you also experiencing this mid-year burnout that we're all feeling? And we wanted you to finish off this phrase. It goes a little something like this. I'm so tired I could. So, let's head over to the social media streets and hear what it is you had to say. First and foremost, Eileen said, good morning, team. I'm so tired I could do with a cash injection. Me as well, Eileen. When you find that cash injection, please tell me where. I want to go there. Thank you very much. Noma Kampof, who said, I'm so tired I could use a 2-day vacation, Woolworths voucher, a cup of Jacob's coffee, and buttermilk rusks from Omar. Is that too much to ask? No, my friend, you're in the right place. We're friends with all of those people. We'll see what we can do for you, okay? Okay. Lauren Camper came through and said, I'm so tired that I could take a cold shower and still not feel fresh. My babes, I can't remember the last time I felt fresh. I think it was Ngabo, February, maybe, perhaps. Somewhere there. Because it's just been go, go, go. But let's head off to Melody Smantuli, who said, I'm so tired I could trip, slip, and sleep there. And then some more. Good morning, family. Good morning, my angel. And I feel you. I literally tell everyone I could sleep anywhere at this point, even in a club, because it's just that bad. I'm that tired. But it is all about us finding the ways in which we can rest. And do remember to look after yourself, please. One of the ways I know you do look after yourself, though, is by tuning into Expresso. And coming up, we're going to be getting into something I'm so excited about. Swingin Las Vegas is at the Teatro Monte Casino. And my lovely, they are going to be performing right here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And then we're also going to be hearing about the Give a Cane campaign, which is here to assist and aims to help those who are visually impaired. It is a beautiful campaign indeed, and trust me, you want to stick around to hear about it. Do not go anywhere. You're still on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Bake more memories with Royal Baking Powder, and you could win your own KitchenAid stand mixer. Be a part of the Tastemaster competition action by watching the show and baking a creative interpretation of the week's theme using Royal Baking Powder. Then upload it to socials by replying to the competition post, including #the Tastemaster SA and #BakeMoreMemories. Don't miss the Tastemaster SA every Tuesday evening at 7, repeat Wednesday at 1 and Sundays at 4 p.m. on SABC2.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Today, I am sitting with Nokolo Binda, who is one of the Cadbury Memory Campaign winners. She has won 5,000 Rand for her unique and memorable story that she sent via voice notes to Cadbury.
Tracking back from that time to now, what I've learned mostly is that life does get tough. You may find that you need to have a hold up and stop other things in life, but I feel like it's wrong to do that. You just need that push, you know, that chocolate push to make it further. So I always have that feeling to say it is always important to have that push in life.
Before we get into it, we here at studio would really love to know everything about Nokolo. What are you about?
I am a mother of one. I love singing. Yeah. I own a company, a beauty spa.
I love that.
And then with my husband, we have an egg company. So we're dealing with poultry.
Oh, I love that. Sounds like you're always busy. How did you find out about this competition and what made you decide to enter?
It was on radio. Yeah. And I was like, why not? And then I sent a voice note. And then when I got the call, I was like, geez, competitions really work.
I love that so much. It sounds like it was a decision that was made on the spot.
Of course.
So you sent a voice note. Can you please tell us about what that beautiful memory was that made you win?
Back in primary school, near school Kulibiak, I was an athlete. Of course. So we were running relay.
Yes.
So my friend is like, guys, before we run, you know, let's do the normal thing that we always do.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to go to the toilet because I need to wee.
Yes.
And she's like, girl, we're about to run now. Take this Cadbury chocolate and just find some strength and then let's do this. We won that race, you know, so that's a memory that's gonna, you know, stand out the most.
That's so beautiful. I'm pretty sure it's one that your child will hear as well growing up.
Of course.
It's beautiful. So you obviously received the call letting you know that you've won 5,000 Rand. How did you feel in that moment?
I was jumping inside and out. I was like a little baby. And my husband was like, it worked. I'm like, yes, it worked.
Lovely. It's so good to try new things, man.
Big time.
So Nokolo, your prize money is going to be 5,000 Rand. Do you have any plans for that money yet?
Of course, grow my business and my other business and provide for my child, of course. And I'm sure at home it can help a lot.
Sounds like a true businesswoman. Thank you so much for joining us, Namhlanje Nokolo. I do just have one thing to tell you, though. We told you that you'd be winning 5,000 Rand, but you're actually going to go home with 10,000 Rand. I'm going to clap with you. I'll clap for that as well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Oh, it was lovely having you, and I really hope that you enjoy this money. Thank you so much for joining us today, Nokolo. We are so happy for you. And thank you again to Cadbury for creating beautiful memories and moments like this and allowing us to be a part of it.
Congratulations to our lucky winner. Right now, 56 million Rand in total estimated Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots could be your ticket to the millions this Tuesday, today. Now, don't miss out. Play Powerball for an estimated 53 million Rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 3 million Rand. So what you can do is you can buy your tickets today in store on the nationallottery.co.za website or the mobile app. You can also buy your tickets through cell phone banking or simply dial *120*752 hash for USSD. We've gone ahead and posted all those details on our Expresso social media pages as well, so go check them out. And remember, Panda, Pusher, play Powerball and Powerball Plus for an estimated 56 million Rand in total estimated jackpots today, and you could win very big, and go do so responsibly.
Oh, my word. I absolutely love it when you get an opportunity after an opportunity to win. And of course, it is big because you are on Expresso. But my friend, we're also winning in this beautiful place we call Johannesburg, because at the Teatro Monte Casino, big things are happening. I am talking about Swingin Las Vegas. Craig, Harry, Adam, I am so ready to come and see you guys absolutely blow us away. But for anybody who's at home, why is it that they need to come and watch? And also, where can they get tickets? What do they need to know to be able to do so?
Well, it's at the Teatro. It's for 2 weeks only, this weekend and next weekend, from the 12th to the 21st of July.
Yes.
You can buy tickets at Web Tickets, or you can go in person to Pick and Pay. And you should come if you want to see live music at the highest level with the best singers and the best musicians in the best venue in South Africa. Then come to Swingin Las Vegas.
Come on! I love it. Well, my friend, we're giving you a little bit of a taste of it right here on Expresso. So everybody, please put your hands together. It is, of course, Craig, Harry and Adam performing Frank Sinatra's beautiful song along with Sammy David Jr. Everybody, please put your hands together.
Hey, Craigie. A bit of Harry, a bit of Howie. Here we go.
Like the wallpaper sticks to the wall.
Like the seashore clings to the sea.
Like you'll never get rid of your shadow.
Harry, you'll never get rid of me. Let all the others fight and fuss. Whatever happens, we've got me.
We're closer than pages that stick in a book. We're closer than ripples that flow in a brook. Wherever you'll find him, you'll find me just alone. Closer than a miser or the bloodhounds to Liza. Me.
Closer than smog when it clicks to LA. Closer than Bobby is to JFK.
Not a soul can bust this team in two. We stick together like glue.
And when it's sleeping time,
that's when we ride.
Oh, we start to swing.
Don't say that out loud.
We don't know. Okay. Our clocks don't chime.
What a surprise. Well, they ring. A ding ding. Happy New Year.
Now to repeat what I said at the start. They'll need a large crowbar to tear us apart.
We're alone but far from blue. Take it away, baby! Before we get finished, we'll make the town roar. We'll hit a few late spots and then a few more. We'll start at a Chili's right after Too Short. Life is gonna be wow, wow, wee for my shadow and me. Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Did you see that? This is iconic, and this is why, my friend, you need to make sure that you go and check it out. It is starting this Friday, the 12th of July, all the way until the 21st, and it is called, of course, Swingin Las Vegas, baby. And it is where you can get your tickets, Web Tickets, and Pick and Pay. And friend, why would you want to miss out on this? Absolute superstars, making sure that we don't forget that Vegas is Vegas because of the superstars that have graced those stages. One thing I also know, though, is that Cape Town is blown away by what just happened here. Friends, how incredible were they? Oh.
Look, blown away literally and figuratively this morning. That's amazing.
That
Looks
was
like a ton of fun.
incredible. Yeah, 100%. Well, listen, we still have so much coming your way on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We're going to be talking about what's lurking in your house. Dr. Botha, no, he's not lurking in your house. We're going to be talking about the dogs and parasites with Dr. Botha, all about, yeah, our dogs and parasites.
Yeah,
he's
I
not
know it's a
lurking
tough
in my
topic. It's a tough topic. Don't stress. It's, but we're going to get through it for sure. And then sticking to that theme as well, the SA Guide Dogs Association's Give a Cane campaign to really support the visually impaired. It's such a beautiful campaign, and I urge every single one of you to be a part of this campaign. We'll get all the details in just a bit. We'll see you after the break.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Good morning and welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. And we're going to do exactly that. Make sure that you're feeling your best self as you enter into Tuesday. And welcome to today's segment on what's lurking in your home, where we will be discussing an important topic for all dog owners, and that's parasites. Now, many of us believe that our indoor dogs are safe from these hidden dangers, but the reality might actually surprise you. Now, joining us at the table is Dr. Vince Botha, and he's going to shed some light on the risks our furry friends face, even within the confines of our homes. Doc, thank you again for being here as always.
Pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Goodness, let's get straight into it. What kind of parasites can actually be found in dogs?
Okay, so there's a fair list, but ticks and fleas are probably your most obvious ones, and those are the ones we know the most about because those are the ones you can see.
Yes.
But obviously you get internal parasites, and that's things like your worms, and there's a couple different types of worms that dogs are susceptible to, especially from a South African standpoint. And then there's also mites, which is not something we talk about very often, and those exist within the skin itself. And depending on where your dogs are located or where you're based, those risks vary depending on where you are.
Okay, I've got lots of questions around those, especially when it comes to interacting with dogs as humans. But maybe we can get into debunking some myths when it comes to parasites and also dogs.
Yeah, so one of the big myths, I think a lot of people like to use this term indoor dogs.
Yes.
And the thing is that in South Africa, it's very rare that we have true indoor dogs. Yes, there are some areas where people do live in a flat and maybe their dog is not leaving their property very often. But for the most part, we take our dog on walks. We take our dogs to places where other dogs are, because also in South Africa, we do have specific areas where dogs go to. So we have our dog parks. So even in the big cities, when you're living in an apartment, you still go down to a dog park. And you don't know where those dogs have been, that your dog is coming into contact with those areas. They might not even be coming direct contact with the dogs, but they're in the areas where those dogs have been. And you yourself, so if you're walking down the street and you've walked somewhere where another dog's been and you stand on a dog poo, or you just stand on a worm egg and you then bring that back into your house, your dog comes and sniffs you. So this idea of an indoor dog that absolutely carries no risk of parasite doesn't really exist.
Okay.
The important thing is that you actually need to know that you're covering your dog so that you don't have to worry too much about it.
But yeah, I get what you're saying. Those lines are blurred. And also in South Africa, we've got the phenomenon of the outside dog.
Yes,
so there's also
we have
that
so
to
much space,
consider.
so like, why not?
Exactly. Can we talk a little bit more about how the dogs can come into contact with parasites? I know you mentioned if you step in dog poo or an egg and the dog smells you, and also if they come in contact with other dogs, are there other ways?
Yeah, so things like fleas, for instance, can enter your home without another animal being involved. So they can jump into the house. I mean, they're quite impressive. If you see these like micro images where they show how they actually jump, it's quite unbelievable. And so they themselves can move and they can cover quite heavy distances. And then what we call like a vector, so any animal. So you might have an indoor dog, but your cat ventures outside, or vice versa, indoor cat and your dog ventures outside. And so you're always having contact between those different animals. So that's fleas, for instance. Worms are a similar thing, and then you don't know where those eggs are lurking, and so yeah, those are your main vectors and the main ways that they'll actually get into your house. Yeah.
Okay, here's a question that I have to just ask you: can the parasites be transferred from the dogs to the human beings that own them?
Some, yes, absolutely. So fleas is not obviously a thing that humans get necessarily.
Yes.
But I actually was bitten by a flea the other day at work, and it was really sore, and I didn't know what happened. It was like a sting in my back, and when I lifted my shirt, there was literally a flea biting. So it can happen. Fleas can bite people. And ticks, obviously.
Yeah.
There are some worms that are transferable between dogs and humans. It's not a thing necessarily that all worms that dogs get can infest humans, but there are some that can. And one of those is hookworm, which we do see a fair amount of, and it can affect skin in humans and intestines in dogs. So it can be a little bit confusing, and it's probably a whole sort of lecture in itself, but the reality is there are things that can be transferred, and then your mites, so the things that cause mange. So there's two main types of mange that we see in South Africa. The one is demodectic mange, which humans can't get, and then there's sarcoptic mange, which is what humans can get as mange, or what we call scabies.
Sure, right. Oh my gosh, Doc, thank you so
Makes
much
your skin
for being
crawl
here.
a little bit. Eh?
Absolutely, that's how I'm feeling. I'm like, oh my gosh, there's something biting me right now. But thank you so much for always coming through with all of the great info that we have. And listen, caring for the companions who care for you, I've got a solution for you, okay? NexGuard has got your furry friends covered with proven efficacy against the broadest range of troublesome parasites like we've spoken about today, all in a monthly tasty beef-flavored chew. And I'm sure they would enjoy that. Now, NexGuard Spectra is available in 5 sizes, adapted to dogs and puppies according to their weight. And both these products are, of course, available in a convenient 1-month or even 3-month protection pack. So NexGuard has got you covered. Don't even worry about it. You and your canine companion also have the chance to win a 2,000 Rand cash prize to enjoy together, plus a special surprise treat. Now, to become a winner, all you have to do is simply reply to the competition post on Expresso's Facebook, X, or even Instagram pages, and just tell us this one thing. If your dog could talk, right, what do you think they would say they love the most about spending time with you? Now, remember to include hashtag NexGuard and also hashtag Guardians of Love in your answer. Now, this competition does close at midday this Friday. It's the 12th of July. And of course, T's and C's apply. And all of that can be found on expressoshow.com. Doc, thank you so much for being here.
Such a pleasure.
Next time you come, please bring your dog with you.
I will.
I missed him today.
He was so comfy. I couldn't bring him with. He was like snuggled up with his blanket and this wind and weather, and no.
Well, we're going to keep you warm in studio right now on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Don't go anywhere.
Up next, a heartwarming chat and a real opportunity for you to make a big difference. Now, the smallest act of kindness is worth more than the grandest intention. And this beautiful thought perfectly captures the essence of our next segment. Now, this morning, we have a very special guest, Cheryl Robertson, the branch manager for the SA Guide Dogs Association in Cape Town. And Cheryl joins us this morning to talk about the exciting Give a Cane campaign, which aims to raise funds for white canes that will change the lives of visually impaired people across South Africa. And in 2024, this year, it marks a significant milestone for the SA Guide Dogs Association's College of Orientation and Mobility, celebrating 50 years of incredible work. Cheryl, thank you for joining us on the couch this morning.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Let's start off with this massive milestone. 50 years to look back on some incredible work. In what way, what capacity do you look back at such a long time and the work that you've done, the impact that you've made in the lives of visually impaired people?
Yes, 50 years for the Orientation Mobility College is a huge milestone. We started off small and it's just got bigger and bigger. We train blind people with their canes, we teach them mobility skills, how to cook clean, be independent, and most of all be free so they're not reliant on other people. And we also train our practitioners as well as visually impaired people directly.
So we speak about the Give a Cane campaign. It sounds absolutely incredible. What sits behind this campaign? What was the inspiration behind it?
Well, the inspiration is that we want to carry on with our service. We want to provide canes to people to make them independent, so that they don't have to pay. They don't pay for our services. We provide it for them. And with our services, we give them the training, we give them a cane, we give them other assistive devices, and it's to carry on with our services. So it's to provide another 500 people with their independence and freedom.
Because I know you guys heavily rely on those funds from the outside coming in to continue the work that you're doing. You are holding one of the canes in your hand. I want to speak specifically to the white cane. Why a white cane? Why is that so important for a visually impaired person?
So the white cane, as you can see, it makes the link between the person and the environment.
Yes.
It is longer than a normal walking stick, and the cane gives the person the ability to see what is in the environment. So the cane will feel where the pavements are, they can feel what the surface is on the ground, they can feel where the obstacles are, they tell them how high steps are, and it gives that person the link We rely on our eyes, they rely on the feel of the environment. So the white cane is known internationally as a visually impaired device that helps them be independent. It's very nice these days because you can fold it up and you can put it in your bag so it doesn't look obvious, it don't trip up other people, and it gives that person the independence. It's a bit longer than a walking stick, so it gives the person a chance to reach what's ahead, and then they can react to what's ahead in the environment.
Yeah. Cheryl, you also mentioned the training orientation and mobility practitioners. Quickly summarize for me their role and the importance thereof when it comes to working with the visually impaired.
So our practitioners study for 2 years and then they go out and work with the visually impaired people. So each person will work with about 4 to 5 people in one day. They do about 2 lessons with them every week, and it can be more or less depending on the person's availability and what they need done. And that practitioner will stay with that person until they are independent. So it's quite a lot of training that's involved, but we've trained about 2,000 people in the last 10 years. So that's 2,000 people that are independently moving around by themselves.
That's incredible. Let's chat about the campaign for people out there who's inspired, and I think this is a great opportunity for anyone out there watching right now to get involved. The campaign encourages people to donate 50 Rand, which is really not a lot, but it can make a massive difference.
So you can go to our website, which is www.guidedog.org.za, or you can, all the information will be on there, so our telephone numbers in our local regions. But the Johannesburg telephone number is 011-705-3512, and you can make the payments by EFT, by SnapScan, but all the information is there for people to donate money.
Thank you very much for coming through and for the incredible work that you've been doing. And here's to another 50 years.
Yes, great.
Let's support, let's support, let's support. It is inspiring to see the positive impact the SA Guide Dogs Association is doing, and they're doing such a phenomenal job. And like Cheryl said, go visit their website. All the information is up there. It's www.guidedog.org.za. Pledge your 50 Rand, go and donate, and also organize, a little fundraising in your own capacity as well to help a very worthy cause.
Don't fall victim to intestinal worms. Use kid-friendly Vermox twice a year and get rid of unwanted guests. Vermox.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to Tune Into Your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso, right here on S3. We are bringing heaps of inspiration your way amidst this really icy weather. And this morning, we want to say, do not get so busy making a life that you forget to make a life. You know what I'm saying? Because our work-life balance, it is really crucial, not only for our mental health, but for our overall well-being. And setting those boundaries, obtaining responsible life-giving habits, and pressing into human connection can leave us feeling fulfilled fulfilled and thriving in all areas. Now, this morning I would like to introduce to you our Big Flex Choose Your Mastery panel, Director of Mr. Universe SA and CEO of Mr. South Africa and Mrs. South Africa Teen, JP Roberts. Joining him on the couch, we have Wealth Manager Gio Buerta as well as psychologist Charles Davids. Give them a round of applause because these gents, they made it amidst crazy weather. I'm glad you guys are here safe. I heard it was quite the journey.
We arrived, we're here.
You arrived. I'm glad that you guys are here because we spoke about burnout earlier on with Prof. Skuman, and she gave us some pretty valuable insights into finding that work-life balance. But she said that she's not a big fan of the phrase work-life balance. Is more about work-life boundaries, which is very important to focus on. So maybe I want to start off with you guys, and please share as much as you can because you guys are all experts in your field. What does balance look like for you, JP?
It's typically, like you said, it's not so much about forming habits or balance, it's about setting your boundaries. So especially working with the Mr. Universe group, we have a big time difference between us and the USA. So you very often, and I'm sure you would find this in your job, at 2 o'clock in the morning think, oh, I'm just quickly going to answer this email, and the next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock. And it's simply a case of establishing those boundaries for yourself in terms of this can wait until tomorrow morning. The world's not going to end if I don't answer this call or if I don't answer this email right now. So you just need to basically find checkpoints in your day to go, okay, now I am done, or find the balance in terms of I started working 2 hours later, I'm going to put in my additional 2 hours. So it's just about forming those habits.
Every person's situation is unique and different, right? Gia, what about you?
Yeah, I think definitely what you just said now, there's no perfect balance. I think it's important to realize your different phases in life. I mean, if you're in your 20s, you don't have a family, not a lot of responsibilities, you can and maybe should work a little bit harder. Where when you
have the opportunity,
you have the opportunity. Where for me personally, in the last year, it was very difficult to balance it because my wife was training for the Olympics in triathlon, and that takes a lot of time. So for me, it was dropping the kids, cooking dinner, looking after them when she's away. But that's a phase in our life. You know, so we're willing to do that because we know there's an end line, and in 3 months' time, my balance is going to look a lot different.
And you adapt accordingly, right? What about you, Charles?
Absolutely, it's about adaptability because I mean we have different seasons in weather in the year, but also in life. And it is about that when I'm busy, I need to know that I put in some extra effort, but to make sure that I intentionally bring in the off time as well. And I think that is where people struggle a lot because it's about we're getting used to, and I mean we're habit forming, so we get used to being busy all the time and then forget that we actually need the break. And that's what the stuff is that leads to burnout eventually. It's really the intentional kind of way to say these are the kind of things that I will take a break. And setting those boundaries and saying when the no is, it means really no.
That's exactly it, and stick to it as well. But like I said, we spoke about burnout. It's such a big issue, especially in our environment as well, where things do get hectic and we want to try and strike that balance, but it's not as simple as I've had a hectic week, I'm going to sleep all weekend, because that's not seen as productive. It's not seen as you're actively doing something to recharge yourself. So you have all walked your own journeys in different phases of your life. And like you said, there's different seasons. So what advice can you share for individuals out there? I mean, like we mentioned, every single person's environment is unique and their setup is different. What advice can you share on finding that kind of balance, that boundaries between the professional life and their personal lives?
I'm probably the worst example when it comes to work-life balance, and I say that with all honesty because if you left me, I would sit in front of my computer and try and be as productive as possible. Thankfully, I have 2 dogs. Get those, they'll keep you in check. And they get walked 4 times a day, and that is kind of my checkpoints or what I use to go, okay, hang on a second.
Checking out now?
I've been working for 3 hours, I need a break. And it's usually 9, 12, 3, 6, 9. That's my day or my routine with them, and that is how I know kind of checking in and finding what phase of the day I'm in and going, okay, cool. I've been working for 6 hours. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to take an hour-long walk with them now.
Yeah, so what you're saying is deliberately putting in those markers in your life to say like this up until here, and then I need to separate myself from it.
Yeah, and I would definitely say put yourself first. Now, that sounds selfish. It sounds counterintuitive. But I know for me, if I'm in the morning, I wake up a little bit earlier before my child and wife's awake. I have 20 minutes for myself, and then I go and train. The moment I step out of the gym, then I'm a completely different person. a lot more productive at work, a lot better husband, a lot better father, because I'm not as anxious. So I think people need to be aware of their own mental and physical health and put yourself first.
Yeah, look, we're going to continue this discussion. It is quite interesting. I can't wait to hear some tips on you guys for people really struggling to find that balance. But I love the fact that you said, my wife knows already, if I get a little bit weird, she's like, go train. Go do something active, go do that. So we're going to be back with our big mastery panel in just a bit for more epic advice.
Can't wait for part 2 of that conversation. But for now, though, our very own G-Man headed over to Muizenberg for snack time on the streets with Omar Rusks, of course. Now get ready to dive into all things holiday snacks and those dipping delicious moments that make our holidays in South Africa so special.
It really is a slice of heaven. I'm back at one of my favorite spots to connect with fans of the show, Muizenberg Beach, and hopefully win over a few more fans because I've brought some dipping delicious treats with me. It's time to find out, ultimately, which is going to be our holiday goers' favorite snack time treat. Our Yum Yum Caramel Dreams, oh, they're really good, or our Omar Buttermilk Rusks, the OG. Let's find out. I'm going to have to find out. I'm going to ask for your wisdom now to please determine between the OG and the new kid on the block. Are you up for it?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I suppose we have to start with the OG, our buttermilk.
Good old buttermilk. As old as we are and as old as Omar is, we've got a connection.
All right, let's see how this young upstart does now in the taste test. Here's the Yum Yum Caramel Dreams.
I'll break it off for you.
Oh.
No, sharing is caring. Sharing is caring.
And what do you think?
Still got the crunch, but a definite difference. And this is the new Omar, not the old Omar. This is the tasty new version with the lovely flavor of the peanut butter, caramel, all blending together. Delicious.
The peanut butter is delicious. What a lovely addition to our old rusks. Definitely a winner for me.
I think the Omar might have been dethroned. Sure, looking at the amount of calories that get burnt out on the water, I would imagine snack time becomes a lot more important. Now I'm seeing some youngsters who, never mind what they've burnt in the water, they've still got enough energy to play touchies out of it. I think they will know the ultimate holiday snack. What's your go-to snack generally when you're on the beach?
I would say coconut water probably.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Drink, yeah.
We're on one of the most iconic surf beaches, I think, in South Africa. Yeah. What does Muizenberg mean to you, dude?
I started surfing at 7, and I grew up on this beach pretty much.
I'm also a local, so it is quite close. And, whenever you come here, the vibe's just always amazing. There's always so many people around. It's just really amazing. Yeah.
Here's the bottom line, okay? We've got a very important decision to make here.
Yeah.
When it comes to your rusks, okay, are you old school or are you willing to push the boat out and try something new?
I'm old school, man.
Okay, well, you've earned the right.
Yeah, I think you definitely can't go wrong with the old school rusk. These are definitely still my favorite. My grandma actually makes these rusks, so I want to actually try these ones as well.
Let's see if this stands up to your Omar's rusks. How do you feel?
Yeah, I must say it lives up to my grandma's.
I'm going to force you to have a Yum Yum Caramel Dream.
I'm quite a bit adventurous, so I might as well try it. I'm not team it because it's a corner piece, but this is actually really amazing. This is really amazing. No, honestly, I'd prefer this over the old one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really.
All right, so not a final decision made. Old school, new school, both stand up. I think this will have to be settled with a game of touches. Go for it, boys. Enjoy your day on the beach.
Thanks,
love you guys. Well done.
Thanks, man.
Hi guys, excuse me disturbing you when I'm sure all you want to do is chill and just get a snack, but old school or new school?
Can you see a preference here?
I think I'll taste the yum yum caramel cream rusks. Oh my gosh, actually really good.
Nice.
Honestly, this is really good, but I don't think I can taste the buttermilk.
Okay, well then you better taste one of the Omar original, and I think the buttermilk for many is their favorite, so.
When you bite it, it's so soft.
All right, Cameron, I'm gonna need you to be wise, calm, okay, and make a good decision here.
Let's do it, man. You can definitely taste the caramel. A hint of peanut butter in the background. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a fan of them. I do have quite a sweet tooth there.
Nice, I like it. Okay, how does it stack up against the OG?
The OG does bring back a lot of memories. It's one my mom keeps in her house most of the time. It is the old favorite, but I'm kind of swinging towards the new one.
Well done. I think I picked the perfect people to do our taste test. What advice do you have for someone wanting to plug into this kind of energy, make the most out of their downtime?
Coming out here, it might be pretty daunting for the new guys and stuff, but the more you're out here, your mindset changes, you get a healthier body, a healthier mind, and you just become a happier person.
And yes, get your snacks.
And you get your snacks.
And enjoy your rice for free.
I love the fact that you are taking a moment with your grandkids today who are having obviously a blast out there. What advice do you have for those looking to appreciate these magical moments?
For us, it's being close to the children, and now that they're still quite young, they enjoy Granny and Grandpa's outings. As they get older, Granny and Grandpa don't mean quite as much.
They're 16 today, tomorrow they're 21. We've just got to make the most of the time we have with them. How much time have we got? We don't know. And just make the best of what we have, this magnificent beach. The kids are out, everyone's enjoying themselves, and it's just a privilege of ours to be able to do that and be with them and love them and be close to them.
I could stay here all day. Thanks for joining me on this little snack time adventure. We might not have chosen our absolute favorite, but I think friends, families, surfers all agree snack time, vitally important when you're out having fun. So whether yours is in the morning coffee, whether it's a midday pick-me-up, or it's on the beach having one on the fly, make sure that your snack time is dipping delicious. And learn from me, okay? Make sure you don't give all your rusks away so you can save the moment. Beautiful.
Well, equal standing for the new and the old. Personally, I love me the OG Rusk, man. But remember, you can stand a chance to win 2,000 Rand as well as an incredible Oh My Rusks hamper. All you have to do is reply to the competition post on the Expresso social media pages and tell us where in South Africa is your favorite holiday destination to relax with Oh My Rusks, of course. And don't forget to use that hashtag #OmaDippingDelicious. Now, this competition does close this coming Friday. That's the 12th of July. But you can head over to expressoshow.com for all of those amazing details and terms and conditions. We're going to head into a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to see part 2 of the conversation with Ewan. See you then.
Oh My Rusks, the ultimate snack time treat. Dipping delicious, tasty, filling, satisfying.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You tune into your Feel Good Breakfast Show Expresso right here on S3, and we are back with our panel to continue the powerful discussion of mastering our work-life balance or work-life boundaries, like we put it into perspective for you now. Charles, I want to come straight to you. I know that we need hours to talk about this because there's so much to cover, but for those people who's really struggling to find that perfect balance boundary setting, what's your advice?
I think, I mean, as we said before, just put yourself first, and it's not being selfish, because you're the most important person in your life, and everybody comes second, including children, husbands, wives, etc. Because if you're not okay, you can't take care of them.
Right.
So therefore,
your
you
cup
have to
must
put
be
yourself.
full.
It has to be. But I think I want to bring something different into the conversation as well, because we focus so much on what the individual has to do. But if I look at it, if we grow up in systems, and if we look at it, what is the role of the employer to make sure that we get that right for the employees? For example, I mean, I've started with my staff a 4-day work week, and the 5th day that they're off is a wellness day.
Nice.
And that is to say, because I've realized that staff struggle to do that, and sometimes we have to put the kind of environment, make it ready for them to put wellness first. And that becomes also important.
Sure, I like
that we do that, and we can do that in our families as well, where we put those kind of, that we create the culture within the family that wellness is important.
Yeah, I love that, because we also, I said earlier on, you know, for any employee, you want to feel valued, and by taking that type of approach, I mean, that's going to make a massive difference in the long run, not only in the productivity of what you are doing, but in the health and well-being of your employees, right?
Okay.
Joe, you know, when you look at your life, when we are talking about finding that perfect balance where you're able to be productive but also be recharged in your personal life, when are you at your most productive?
Yeah, I just know the word present. You have to be present, I think, comes to mind. I see a lot of people going to the gym, for instance, but they're still on their phone trying to answer emails of friends or look at Instagram. So you're not gymming, you know, well, and then also you're not busy with being
engaging
busy. You're not
what
engaging.
it is that you're doing now.
And similar with then when the children are there, they're on their phones, or in conversation with friends, they're on their phones. So I think a lot of people are not present, so they're not doing what they are doing well at that moment. So I think that's one point, that people really should be present where you are, and that then your work will be a lot better as well.
That is phenomenal advice. I mean, just a simple thing like you've mentioned, you are busy, you're training, and for me, trying to, you know, take a phone call while I'm training, I mean, it's a big no-no for me, because it frustrates me, because you want to be in that moment. JP, what advice, tips, tricks that have you learned across your journey that you can share to people wanting to really find, or struggling to find, that right balance, keeping in mind that I think everyone's, like you mentioned earlier on, situation is very unique?
I think a lot of people in today's day and age get overwhelmed, given, like you mentioned earlier, your wife, your kids, your household, your dogs, your job, all of those things. Something that I have found that works very, very well for me is a simple to-do list. And even putting, take a break, take dogs for a walk, go have coffee, check in with a friend, putting those simple things on a to-do list. If you struggle to discipline yourself in terms of, I'm going to work for 4 hours, then I'm going to take a break. Being able to pull that or scratch that out on a to-do list simply gives you that satisfaction, or that breaking point in your day of going, I have done this, it's justified, I deserve a break right now.
I think if I can just add to JP's mini goals. I think people should have goals, but also mini goals. If it's running your best 5K this month, it gives you a little bit of energy, not just work-wise goals, but personal goals as well.
Yeah.
I'm going to teach my kid how to hit a ball with a racket.
And
simple stuff like that. Motivational, and
Yeah.
it will be the motivational goal in all aspects of life, not just in one area.
I love that you said that, because, you know, if you don't put something like a goal in place, I mean, what are you actually aiming for, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, where are you going to go with that? So how do you recharge? What are some of your goals that you try and chase?
I think for me the important thing is to know yourself, and then to schedule things. So when do you need to sleep enough? When are you going to sleep less because you have more work to do and things? And that's really the kind of things, is to be conscious of where you are and what phase of your life, and then set those kind of things, boundaries in place, because there will be weeks that you spend more energy at work.
Yeah.
And then but you need to know you have to recharge as well. So after busy period, what is it that you put in place? And it doesn't mean more sleep.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it might mean a walk and
Yeah,
not a,
I love
not
the
a
word
sleep,
active
you know?
rest.
And that's the important.
Gents, thank you. I wish we had more time. Charles, Gio, JP, thank you very much for joining us this morning and just sharing your insights. And then you, of course, can also choose your mastery conversation online and let us know how you aim to master your work-life balance for your life to be more fulfilled, happier, and an absolutely incredible one. Until then, hashtag choose your mastery with the Big Flex 5 with movable blades for a faster, smoother, all-in-one shave. Gents, you're legends. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, it is Christmas in July, baby. I don't know if you've heard about that, but we are on the 7th month of the year, and that means that it is faux season, festive season anyway. Now, Christmas in July, it is the time of the year and a perfect time for us in the Southern Hemisphere to celebrate as the cold winter weather complements the quintessential Christmas roast with all the trimmings, of course. So join us as we make a mouth-watering, crispy roast pork belly with avocado. I know you're so interested. Your ears perked up as soon as I said that, and we're going to make something so delicious. I don't know if you've been in the kitchen before to make a pork belly, but it is actually pretty simple, but I am going to need some hands. So in just a bit, I'm going to ask you to come on through and help me with the sauce while I get in touch and do the hard work. I'm not going to put you to too much work. Don't worry.
Thank you.
I got you. I got you. Okay, so you're going to do the mustardy sauce for us.
Must I?
You must.
Okay, I will. I will.
And
I will.
I'll do the difficult parts of scoring the meat.
Ooh, on a 1 scale of 1 to 10?
How good am I?
I'm scoring the meat.
Oh.
God, just confusion.
It was a dad joke. It was a dad joke. I missed
Oh, I'm so
it.
sorry. It just
All
flows.
right.
I don't know how it happens.
Let me tell you what
How do I
what's
do the
here.
mustard sauce?
Condensed milk.
Right.
Whole grain mustard.
Dijon.
Dijon, exactly. We've got some white wine vinegar.
Lovely.
Avocado, of course, the hero. And then we've got the seasonings and some milk, right?
Righto.
You're going to incorporate
Do I
that all
just-
together. Coy it together.
I
Delicious.
must. And I
I'm going to
will.
sort this out over here.
Right.
Washed
And the thing is, a
hands.
condensed milk is such a great base, especially with something like a pork, if you're going to go with that crispiness, because it just adds a
Absolutely.
bit of a sweetness.
I love it. And sweetened pork goes so well together.
Oh, it does,
You could also
it does,
think
it
about
does.
like a cranberry and an apple sauce, but today, of course, we've got the avocado. So I'm going to score our meat. It's looking lovely. It's looking good. I feel like when you have meat, you got to, you know what I'm saying? You just got to make sure she's ready.
And then you go, ooh, okay. Yeah,
Okay, so we're scoring the meat. Let's get
Righto.
in there.
Score it. Score
I'm
it.
scoring. So I would give it a 72 out of 10.
A 72
because pork
out of
belly
10.
is so delicious.
Righto.
Who doesn't love to order pork belly at a restaurant, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're scoring.
Okay. I've
Is
got
the
my
knife going to work on my
ingredients here.
side?
Careful fingers.
I know.
Careful fingers.
Clearly, I'm not a chef. Wait, I should be hiding my fingers like that.
This is an
I'm a cook.
interesting
I'm a home
mix because I just realized condensed milk and avocado.
Yes.
That's interesting.
It is, and it's going to taste so good, I promise you, because of the mustard. So it's going to
Yeah.
add that sort of like tartness
That
to it as
sweetness,
well.
that
Yes,
tanginess.
the tanginess.
Ah.
Okay.
Righto. There we go. Okay, so I've got the sauce ready.
And that's going to accompany our pork belly. Maybe I should.
You don't,
I should have let you do
score
that.
it. Don't cut it.
Was it too
Like
deep?
you just need to score it.
I'm scoring.
Okay, so while Carissa scores the meat, roasted meats. I mean, it always top of the traditional festive food list. And this year we are adding an avo to our roast, like you've seen, especially with this pork dish for the ultimate Christmas in July spread, because that is where we are, if you haven't noticed. It also might come as a bit of a surprise, but avocados are the ideal pairing for pork, right? I actually didn't know this up until right now. Not only do the flavors of each of the complements, they complement each other, but they also both share very similar attributes, including nutritional density, versatility, and health benefits. That I did know. Now, surprise the family. You can go with this recipe for a lovely Christmas dinner in July, and just don't forget to add the avos.
Of course.
Yeah, for
the
sure. You
avos
gotta
make
get
it so
in there.
much better.
Okay.
All right, so our pork belly is scored.
Fantastic. 10 out of 10.
Thank you, thank you. And what we're going to do is basically layer some garlic because it's going to lie on top of the garlic.
Nice. So it's going to kind of like
the flavor
infuse like that.
So there are a couple of steps here.
Right, let me help you out.
Thank you. When it comes to pork belly, you got to love her, okay?
Okay.
So it's going to take like 2 hours, the whole process.
Right.
So first step is to put this down.
Okay.
You got to listen. And then we take this.
I'm listening.
And we take it this way.
Ah,
All right?
upside down.
Upside down first. And then I don't want to touch that with my raw meat hands.
Okay.
So we're going to put some cumin seeds on the top.
Okay.
And we're also going to salt it a little bit to add some flavor.
That I will do for you.
Yes. So what's going to happen, we throw this in the oven for 180 for an hour. So then all the meat is going to cook so beautifully.
Yes.
And then we take it out and we flip it over.
Okay.
Right? And then we add the sage leaves on top of the garlic and then flip it skin side out.
Okay, so you take it off the garlic.
Yes.
Sage it.
Sage, put the sage on top of the garlic and sage your environment while you're at it because no bad juju here. You flip it over skin side up, you salt it so that the skin can become crispy.
The salt needs to kind of dry up at that job.
And the sage leaves will then infuse with, of course, the garlic and everything. And don't forget to oil your meat too, okay?
That's it, so the oil on there as well.
And that goes for 230 for an hour into the oven. And then you've got that product, end product.
So I basically created the dipping sauce.
Basically, it's an accompaniment. And what also is nice is you can slice up some avocado, season it how you like, and serve it along with your pork. So it's just a really delicious complementary dish coming together, the crispiness with the creaminess.
What?
They kiss each other. Like
I love a good pork belly. And I mean, this looks amazing. Some chili flakes on there as well with that dipping sauce.
Tagine even.
I would love to.
You want to try it?
I would love to try it.
I don't want to touch anything, but I think you should get involved.
Yeah, you shouldn't do anything.
No. We don't want to transfer any badness.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, delicious. Well, you try that. Dip it in the delicious sauce and let us know. Score it for us. Do you hear that? ASMR. While he's enjoying this, I'd like to tell you something super special. If you would like to add this scrumptious recipe to your Christmas in July menu, then head over to expressoshow.com for all of the steps. That is my prize to you because it is Christmas in July and we are doing nothing but celebrating. Delicious?
So good.
So good. Try it for yourself.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. We've done so much for you, but we've got so much more because listen to this. 56 million rand in total estimated Powerball and Powerball Plus jackpots could be your ticket to the millions this Tuesday. And don't miss out. Play Powerball for an estimated 53 million rand and Powerball Plus for an estimated 3 million rand today.
Big jackpot today. So buy your tickets today in store on the nationallottery.co.za website or the mobile app. And then you can also buy tickets through cell phone banking or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. And we've also posted all of those details just for you on our Expresso social media pages. So go check them out. Ponder, push up, play Powerball and Powerball Plus for 56 million rand in total estimated jackpots today. And you could win big.
Beautiful stuff, man. Speaking about winning big, we sure are. Because right now we're going to head over to Josie for yet another performance. Take it away.
It is true, my lovely. We are winning big, yes, because we got these superstars in the studio, but also because this is the day that the world got blessed with Kuhle Adams. Yes, our absolute fave. Happy birthday, Kuhle. We love you so much. You are such an incredible woman. Not only are you kind, but you're also one of the most professional, most gifted people that anyone knows in this entertainment industry. So please know your Expresso family loves you so much, and so does Mzansi. For now, though, we did say we have a performance yet again from the kings of Swingin Las Vegas. Everybody, please give it up for Harry, Craig, and Adam with They Can't Take That Away From Me by Frank Sinatra.
Here we go. The way you wear your hair, the way you sip your tea, the memory of all that. No, no, they can't take that away from me.
The way your smile just beams, the way you sing off key.
I'm not flat, Adam's sharp.
The way you haunt my dream.
No, no, they can't take that away from me.
We may never meet again on this bumpy road to love.
Still I'll always keep the memory of the way you hold your knife,
the way you dance till 3,
the way you changed my life.
Oh no, they can't take that away from me. No, they can't take that away from me.
Oh,
yeah, baby, here he goes.
We may never meet again on that bumpy road to love.
Still I'll always keep the memory of
the way you hold your knife,
the way we dance till 3,
the way you changed my life.
Another feel-good production.
Elevate your custard